All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live for today's running of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at the Phoenix race of the NASCAR season for these Xfinity Series drivers, and we have a shot to get another new winner. Two drivers have won the first three races of the year. Of course, Austin Hill winning the first two on the super speedways at Daytona and Atlanta. Last weekend, despite Chandler Smith dominating the first two-thirds of the race, it was John Hunter Nemechek going to victory lane. Him being a Cup Series regular means that Austin Hill is still 3 weeks into the season the only driver locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs. A couple of other notable Cup regulars in the field today, another of which ran last week's race, maybe better this week, and used to be in the Cup Series full-time, that being Eric Almirola, along with, of course, the usual Xfinity Series heavy hitter regulars. I think we're going to have a pretty competitive one in this one. Cole Custer, the defending winner at Phoenix, of course, winning the championship race and the championship at Phoenix last season for the Xfinity Series, is on the pole for today's race, trying to go back-to-back at the racetrack. He was also on the pole last week, so back-to-back pole awards for him, and he finished second in last week's race. As a result of the Fords being really good on the flat racetracks, and as a result of Cole Custer finishing second as my win pick last week, I'm going to take Cole Custer to win the race again this weekend. Even if it doesn't happen, I think he's definitely going to have a top 5 run. He did fall out of the top 5 and was kind of running like 8th through 10th for most of the first half of the race, but really turned it on. They got something right in that final stage. There isn't going to be as much tire fall off today as what there was at Las Vegas as well, so track position is going to matter a little bit more today than what we would have saw last week. And I would probably say a lot more considering the fact that not only that, but having that number one pit box on probably the most difficult pit road to have during caution flag pit stops, again, with the length of it. And number one pit box seems to be, more often than not, the holder of the winner of the race, any race really, at Phoenix. On the call today for the Fox Sports 1 booth is going to be Jamie Little, Daniel Suarez, and Joey Logano. Before we get to them, we have to go through the rest of the starting order for today's Call811.com. Every dig, every time, 200 at Phoenix. It's a long title sponsor for a race. I don't know how I'm going to say that before we get to every ad break during the course of this race, but I'm going to have to. Cole Custer, again, on the pole for this one, trying to go back-to-back at Phoenix and trying to get his first win of 2024. Chandler Smith will start outside the front row in second. Won both stages last week, but was unable to get the win, trying to get the win with Joe Gibbs Racing today. Corey Hyman, Riley Herbst will line up in row 2. Herbst, again, another Ford, qualifying well. SHR Ford, nonetheless, at Phoenix, starting at the front of the field. And Corey Hyman, not running the full season this year in the Xfinity Series, a second straight week in the Xfinity Series, a full-time truck regular. Truck's off this week, so that's why he's running this race today. Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed will line up in row 3. Allgaier, former winner at Phoenix. Jesse Love and Eric Almirola in row 4. Mentioned Almirola going to be running his second Xfinity race of the season, also in the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. John Hunter Nemechek, in his 4th consecutive race to start this season, has already gotten the 20-car into the Owners' Championship playoff standings with, of course, the win last week for John Hunter Nemechek in the Xfinity Series. And AJ Allmendinger back full-time in the Xfinity action. He'll be rolling off 10th alongside Nemechek in row 5. Row 6 going to be Brandon Jones, Parker Kligerman. Jones still looking for his first win with Junior Motorsports. Ryan Sieg, Kyle Weatherman will line up in row 7. Austin Hill starting fairly deep in the field today. Row number 8 in the inside lane. To his outside, Sammy Smith, who is the defending winner of this race, won with Joe Gibbs Racing in the spring event at Phoenix a year ago. Jeb Burton and Parker Retzlaff, both the Chevrolets at Jordan Anderson Racing, will be back in row number 9. And row 10 is going to be Haley Deegan and Anthony Alfredo. Sam Mayer will be on the inside of row 11, starting fairly deep in the field alongside Brendan Poole. Shane Van Gisbergen making a short track debut in the Xfinity Series today. He'll be in the 97 once again on the inside of row number 12 with, to his outside, Leland Honeyman. Jeremy Clements and Kyle Sieg, the other Sieg brother. Jeremy Clements, again, Kyle Sieg, row 13. Row 14, Josh Williams and William Byron. Poor qualifying effort for Byron. He was the first on the racetrack today. For qualifying, definitely costed him quite a bit, but he could be one of the favorites to win this one as well, starting deep. BJ McLeod, Ryan Ellis is going to line up in row number 15. Row 16, Blaine Perkins and J.J. Yaley. Row 17 is going to end up being Frankie Muniz, row 17, Dawson Cram and Nick Lights, and then Frankie Muniz and Patrick Emmerly, and row 18, Muniz's first start since Daytona in the season opener. Ryan Vargas, Garrett Smithley will round out the 38-car field today in row 19. So that is your full 38-car field for this NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Interested to see what's going to happen. And I'm taking Custer. Byron's probably the heavy hitter in this one. Didn't qualify particularly well. And again, the Fords have shown out on flat racetracks in NASCAR, not just in the Cup Series. I'd say more so in the Cup Series, but they won all 3 championship races last year, or all 3 championships, maybe not the races themselves, but they won the championship in all 3 series at this racetrack a season ago. So I'm rolling with Cole Custer for the second consecutive week. It's going out on a limb considering the fact that Byron's in the field, in my personal opinion. And Nemechek, who was the winner last week, also in the field. And when you consider the fact that Custer's only win on a non-road course was right here at Phoenix, I think that definitely puts him up there in discussion to compete for the win at the very least today. JoJo, Terry Lewis, Bond 1771, Dan Bowers, thanks for tuning into the stream. Robert Perkle, thanks for tuning in as well. Earl Arnold Jr., Patrick Shadley. Not Custer, it'll be Byron. Yeah, that's what I think. Starting deep, though. We'll see. Regine Huddleston, also welcome into the stream. A lot of you guys, of course, I saw for the live commentary stream we already had this afternoon of Cup Series qualifying. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin getting his first pole of 2024. We'll see him lead the start of tomorrow's Cup Series race, which we will go live for at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, that is with our pre-race coverage, which is usually longer than the pre-race for the Xfinity and the Truck Series. So again, 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon will be our start time there. You can watch the race again today on Fox Sports 1, your local Fox affiliate, Big Fox, for tomorrow's Cup race. The Hungry One, thanks for tuning in. What happened to Adam Alexander? I think he's just got the off week this week. I do believe this is the first time Jamie Little will call an Xfinity Series race, so... she's usually doing the Truck Series. She's splitting Truck Series with Adam Alexander this season again, just like last year. So she's not doing every truck race, but apparently splitting the Xfinity coverage as well. My guess is with the Truck Series not at the track this weekend and having the commentators at the track during the Fox portion of the schedule, I'm going to assume it's a cost-cutting measure. And Jimmy Little's always doing the pit reports on the Fox Cup races, so she was already at the track, hence she's going to be in the booth today with 2 drivers who also nobody's really mentioned this, but I think the main reason Fox does the broadcast with drivers every week, like current drivers always in the broadcast booth as like the color commentator roles, I think it's so they don't have to pay anybody to actually do the job for them full time. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, we've seen a lot of cutback with Fox's coverage over really since COVID with cost-cutting measures to be in place. I mean, look at the pit. They have 2 to 3 pit reporters. Really 2 pit reporters every Cup Series race, and they kind of just rotate Regan Smith. And, oh man, I'm having a brain fart on the top of my head of who the other one is. Well, no, for the Cup races, it is usually just Regan Smith and Jamie Little. There used to be 4 of them for like every race. And NBC still has 4, but... And they have an extra booth man. Maybe not this year with Dale Jr. not there anymore, but yeah, I think it's just because of the cost-cutting measures. They can pay me to do it, I'll do it. I'll be cheap. I won't ask for much. Not as much as what they're already paying Jamie Little and others to do this job. I'll do the Xfinity races. Well, here's the thing too. You also gotta factor in another reason why I think that it's just a cost-cutting measure is because they're not even going to have Xfinity Series coverage starting next season. It's going to the CW. So their theory is, why should we just pay somebody else for a year or two like they have done? Really, it's been the last, like I said, since COVID, about 3 or 4 years. Why pay anybody under contract to do Xfinity Series races when we could just hire people we already have, save money that way, and on top of saving the money, we're not even going to have this series in another 2 years' time anyway. So, yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but it does kind of bleed into the lack of coverage from time to time, to say the least, when you have people up there that aren't as experience. Obviously, Jamie Little. Like, you have somebody that's literally been doing flag-to-flag commentary for less than 2 full seasons, doing flag-to-flag commentary with 2 people who have very minimal experience because they're full-time racers in the Cup Series. I know Logano's been a part of these, a few times, as well as Dan Suarez, but still, I mean, it might be a cluster today for the few times that you guys get to listen into the race. But I wish them the best, and hopefully they have a good, clean coverage, and we can relay that into the good, clean coverage that you'll listen to from me from time to time throughout the course of this live commentary stream as well. Enough on that. For late race breaking news, here is that FS1 crew leading up to the drop of the green flag.
I like Kyle Weatherman in the 91. Really nice effort for him back there. Row number 7 and row number 8, Sammy Smith, last year's winner of this race. And Austin Hill, somebody to keep an eye on. Starting a little farther back, but a 2-time winner already this season. Let's check in with our pit reporters, Josh Sims and Regan Smith. Hello, Regan.
Well, good afternoon, Jamie.
Josh Sims, that was his name, by the way.
Smith, winner of this race 1 year ago. 1-year anniversary of his first and only Xfinity Series win to this point. Talked to him about that just a few moments ago. He said that was huge. The confidence that he gained as a rookie by winning this race was very important for him. Racing against guys like Kyle Busch and going out there and beating them this year. Fast forward, a new team, a new crew chief, so much newness for him. Still getting adapted to the Junior Motorsports cars. He qualified 16th today. He said he feels very good about the long run capability of his car. Josh?
Well, Regan, the story for Sheldon Creed has been so close, but not quite. 8-time runner-up in the Xfinity Series, including here in November. Now, the good news for him, this is a track he's done very well at. Top 6 in the last 3 races here. The bad news is they had an oil leak before the race, and they had to change out the O-ring. They'll start from the back. Sheldon says that just means they're going to have to put on a show, JB.
All right, I like it. Sheldon Creed knows how to put on a show here. He won the race and the Truck Series Championship back in 2020.
Absolutely. You got some fast drivers that are starting towards the rear of this thing, right? And we brought up one already. But look at some others here. Haley Deegan starting 19th, Sam Mayer 21st, Shane Van Gisbergen 23rd as he tries to get some more learning experience. And then William Byron is probably the biggest surprise. He was the first car to go out and qualify in. And I think he paid a big price for that. The track definitely gets better as a few cars go out there. I think that's going to be a fun car to move forward. Obviously, he will for 28th.
Totally, and I also think that William Byron is going to get better as the race goes, because he's so used to the Cup car, and he's so different to Xfinity car.
Here's our race analysis for the race today. 200 laps, 200 miles. Stage 1, 45 laps. Stage 2 is 45 laps as well. And the final stage, 110 laps. Let's check in on the 26th little pep talk for Corey High.
Keep us up to date all day. We'll stay calm and cool. Corey, good job qualifying. See if we can't make a day of it. Yes, sir. Appreciate all you guys. It's a good day to have a great day.
I like it. Good day to have a great day.
It's good words to live by. Now, as you come to the start here, remember, they're going to go 3, 4, 5 wide through this dog leg right off the bat as they barrel it out into turn 1, wondering what the heck their cars were about to do.
Joey, I think the fans listen to you. They're all standing to their feet now. They know what's about to come.
All right, Custer leads them out of the Geico restart zone and to the green as we're underway for our first of 2 races at Phoenix on this NASCAR raced weekend. Custer had that inside lane for this initial start, still stays door-to-door for the race lead on the entry to turns 1 and 2 alongside Chandler Smith, who started in the second place position. And off the exit of that corner, it looks like Smith's going to be clear on the outside, and Cole Custer, despite qualifying on the pole, doesn't look like he is going to lead the first lap of the race unless he's able to get back by Chandler Smith. A little contact middle of the pack between the 2 of Jesse Love and the 20 of John Nemechek. Nemechek washed up into him. They were nearly 3 wide with Allmendinger on the outside. He was able to escape by, and after the contact, a lot of loss of momentum on the front stretch for the 20 of Nemechek. He loses a couple more positions. So Smith did lead the first lap of the race. Cole Custer was second after qualifying first. And Smith trying to go out with an early lead and an early fast start, just like he did a week ago. Again, won the first 2 stages last week at Las Vegas, trying to bring it home with a full win, though, here today. Still a lot of 3 wide racing, especially on the front stretch. Drivers still cutting the dog leg down in the opening laps of this race. You'll see that the first handful of laps following every restart throughout the course of both today's race as well as the NASCAR Cup race tomorrow. Three laps in the books, and Chandler Smith has still led them all. 4/10 of a second lead now over Cole Custer. Quickly back in third is Corey Heim, 6/10 of a second off the lead. 1 second back, Riley Herbst, fourth, right where he qualified. Justin Allgaier's fifth, 1.2 seconds off the lead. I do like Eric Almirola. He's been proven to be very good on flat race tracks throughout his NASCAR career. Of course, his last Cup win came at New Hampshire. He had good runs there. Had good runs at Gateway the last couple seasons. And solid runs on the flatter track at Phoenix as well. Notably, in the Xfinity Series in his career, has a win at Milwaukee. Although he didn't technically win that race, Denny Hamlin won the race, but still, I mean, Eric Almirola pretty much was going to go on to win that race. And I think he might have even won another date at Milwaukee again later, but needless to say, very good at flat racetracks and proven with these Xfinity cars. So look out for him and look out for trouble on the back straightaway. Dawson Cram, Josh Williams involved, and maybe a couple more. Both Cram and Williams get into the inside wall. Not very hard. I believe both of them are going to be able to continue. It looks like actually more damage to the back bumper of Cram's cars. He might have gotten crammed from behind. There's the dad joke of the day. And there definitely were more cars involved. The 07, it looks like quite a bit of damage. It's Patrick Emerly in the 07. So back half of the field here, we get at least a 3-car incident on the backstretch. 18. Sheldon Creed got a good shot there from Williams. They were 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. It's very tight off the exit of that corner as they try to funnel on down the back straightaway, and the 11 car had washed up into the 18. 18 was coming out strong on the outside. That was after contact, in fact, from Jeremy Clements. So Clements made the contact with the 11 of Williams. Then Williams made contact with the 18, and once he made that contact with Creed is when he ultimately lost control, went around. Nobody else hit him, and a very light nose into the wall. So Williams should be able to continue. I would have to imagine no problem here. But we are under caution just a few laps into this race today. Lap 5, I believe. Lap 4, actually, was the time of the caution. Pretty short race today for the Xfinity Series. Only 200 laps, 200 miles, one of the shorter race distances of the season. And Chandler Smith has led them all so far from the second place starting position. Got an ad break right now on Fox Sports 1. I don't imagine we'll see any pit stops this early in the race, so we'll take an ad break ourselves here and get back to the green flag action shortly. You're listening live to the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Phoenix on KRC. Lap ahead of me. Yeah, there's about a 30-second delay on YouTube, which equates at most tracks to about a lap. Link and Kim's Hollingsworth, thanks for tuning in. NASCAR Cup Series 2311 Racing, also welcome back. Got 20 likes in the early going of the stream. Our goal is 100 for these Xfinity Series live commentary streams, so let's try to get that quickly to our goal. Again, 100 likes is our goal for today's race. Thought he retired full-time. If you're talking about Almirola, he did not. He did from Cup Series racing. And Almirola is not full-time Xfinity. No, he did not run Daytona or Atlanta, but he did run last week at Vegas, and he's also going to be running, obviously, this week, as well as more races throughout the season. Trying to get that 19 car into the Owners' Playoffs, just like his teammate last week, John Hunter Nemechek, who's not running a full season in the 20, was also able to do. Still waiting for them to not only come back from the commercial break, but get back to the green flag racing here shortly. NASCAR Justin and Ash, thanks for tuning in. Sorry you didn't make it for qualified. Well, hey, I appreciate you tuning in here for the race. You made it at some point. That's all that matters. Billy Kramer, welcome back to this stream as well. 8 more cautions, Delbert Wilson says in the chat, as his prediction. It's going with 8 yellows. You can vote for who you think will win today's race in the chat. That poll will close at the end of stage 2. Already 46 votes have been casted. 33% of you say William Byron will win the race from the 28th starting position. 28% say Nemechek. 30% for other. Cole Custer, the pole sitter of this one, only at 9% of the votes. Despite winning the championship race here a season ago. Surprised that poll's not a little closer. Here's my pick. William Byron, after starting 28th, was able to get to 20th. 8 positions gained in the first 4 laps before the caution flag came out. Of course, he's in a lot better equipment than a lot of those guys back there, so I'm sure we'll continue to see him work himself up to the front. He'll be in the top 10 in no time. It's going to be a matter of, is he going to have the speed once he gets the track position alongside with these other couple cars at the front. Williams on pit road, assessing the damage his team is to his race car.
That's Josh Williams. He's under the Colleague umbrella having issues here earlier. You guys buying any of those? You're supposed to buy when the stock's down, right?
Yeah, I'm buying Sam Mayer.
Yeah, let's wait to fly it to get a little more flat, and then we'll start buying.
Let's listen to the radio for Justin Allgaier.
I'll say this. The two better be really thankful that he's got some veterans around him. Because if there weren't, my man would want the whole field up going into one. Yep, that's what I thought.
We're talking about Jesse Love right behind him in the 2 car.
That was an aggressive move. But like we talked, it worked out for him. You know, he was an aggressive move, and I think he net maybe a spot or 2 ahead, and for him.
You can bank on him doing it again if it worked the first time. He's going to be aggressive throughout the rest of the race for sure.
Let's go back up to the leader and hear what they're talking about on the radio.
Good for brakes and tires and everything. That line you're running in, you're pulling away from them. So keep it up. You're going to get copy. Yeah, I was riding right there. Probably I wasn't even trying to slip to the front or the rear. Just trying to manage stuff a little bit. The pace was doing that.
That's an advantage you have when you're the leader. You got clean air. You can pace it as much as you want. Tires fall off a fair amount here, and they're about to restart here on 11-lap tires. Right, they had a shorter green flag run there, but it's going to be different this time than it was the original start. They're going to go down to the turn 1, and they're going to be sliding a lot more than they did the run before. This is going to be something they're going to have to get used to, though, is the third run on tires. They only have 3 sets laying. So you cannot afford to pit in this first stage unless you're somebody that's looking to make something happen in the first stage and take the penalty later in the race. If not, you got to be okay refiring on old tires.
Let's get an update on the 98 Riley Herbst. Josh.
Yeah, so for Riley Herbst during practice, they had a bad vibration. So I talked to crew chief Devin with Steve-O after. He said when they took the tires off, they didn't like the way they looked, but when they put the qualifiers on, he didn't have that shake anymore. Well, just after that first run, the team asked him, is that vibration back? He said, no, it's fine. So they'll keep an eye on it, but for now, things are looking much better for the 98.
That's good news for Riley Herbst. Just behind his teammate Cole Custer there for this restart in the 2nd row. And all bunched up. First restart of the day.
Right there, the 0-0 did a great job slowing down the 81, and I mean, I thought he was going to send it a little bit more into the 1, but you know, right now these guys are going to just continue to learn which line works a little bit better. The 0-0 was on the lead in the start of the race in the bottom. He lost the lead, and right now he's still 2nd in the bottom again. So we're pretty sure that the top is going to continue to prevail.
Well, John Hunter Nemechek just passed a whole bunch of cars on the top side at 1 and 2. Got another 1 or 2 down in 3 and 4 as they all barreled down to the bottom of the racetrack. He took that air up top. So what an incredible start for John Hunter Nemechek getting some track position.
John Hunter started the race in 9th now. Gained 3 spots since the restart.
And this is where you always like, which lane do I want to pick? They're too wide. Where do I want to be? These Xfinity cars, they like the top lane a lot, mainly because when you get really close to someone's right side door, it makes them loose. So the top is definitely preferred in the Xfinity cars more than the Cup cars.
Yeah, it seems to me that you can affect the bottom car just easily, right? By taking the air out of the right side of the car. And yeah, it seems like John Hunter is taking full advantage of that.
Looks like Justin Allgaier got a little bit loose. He was on the inside, went to the outside. Nice battle between teammates behind him, a couple of Gibbs cars.
Yeah, Eric Almirola in the 19, he did a great job of being patient, getting his left side on that yellow line. There's a little bit of grip on that yellow line, and when John Hunter missed the bottom a little bit, it allowed him to pull up underneath him. But now, you see, it's too wide in front of him. Nowhere to go anyways.
Looking at Eric Almirola in the 19, that Go Bowling. Did you guys know he's a pretty darn good bowler?
I would hope so by now. He's had that sponsor for some years. I would hope by now he can bowl.
I saw with my own eyes with professionals from the PBA yesterday. They did a little show that'll air on Fox next Sunday, but he was getting after it. He's quite an athlete.
Look at this move, getting to the outside of the 98. Can't quite make it happen there. He's going to have a good run down the straightaway here, though.
Nice run on his teammate.
You see Eric, gotta get on that paint. That paint means a lot. As the run goes, it seems to mean even more.
Eric Almirola back in the Xfinity Series part-time this year, wants to spend more time with his family, but he's all invested. He feels like it's full-time. He's been getting reacquainted with the Gibbs family and team.
Yeah, as much as you believe, it's like almost kind of retired, but not really. As you go back to the Xfinity Series, he's got to relearn so many things. Not to mention the people and the process of Gibbs versus Stewart Haas, where he spent so many years. It's definitely a learning experience for him, and I'm sure he's going to keep getting better as he gets more races under his belt.
Chandler Smith continues to lead, 17 laps and counting. Cole Custer behind him. Corey Heim, no change up front.
Man, we have to pay attention to William Byron. William Byron started in 28. Right now he already passed 14 cars. He's making 24 he started that. Right now he's in 14. He's making progress. He continues to learn the car. I think William Byron is going to be contending for the top 3, top 5 by the end of stage 1 and stage 2.
Yeah, the downfall for Williams starting so far back is he's using up his tires a lot right now as he tries to get through the field and get some of his track position back. And so he doesn't really know the balance of his car or what it will be when he gets towards the front. Remember, there's only 3 pit stops in this race. There's not much opportunity to work on your car. So he's going to be maybe a change behind compared to others if his car's not balanced perfectly right now.
So William Byron running this 17. The 17 car will run 10 times this year. All 4 of the Cup drivers. Chase Elliott will see him in. But who's coming up next? Coda is the next race for the Xfinity Series. Kyle Larson will be in the field. And Boris Said coming back. Boris Said will run at Sonoma. So nice to see the star car from Hendrick. But right now, stage number 1, it's all about Chandler Smith.
Smith out to a 1.6-second lead over Cole Custer in second place. Third place right now is Justin Allgaier. Corey Hyman fourth. Riley Herbst is fifth. Eric Almirola up to sixth place. John Hunter Nemechek seventh. Jesse Love eighth. AJ Allmendinger ninth. And Brandon Jones rounds out the top 10. So again, that is your top 10 in the early going of this race. Still about 25 laps to go in stage 1. Stages 1 and 2, each 45 laps in length. And the final stage is 110. They will have to make a pit stop at some point in time in the final stage for fuel and tires, but not in the first 2 stages. And they can go almost to the end of stage 2 on a full fuel run if they really wanted to, but I doubt you're going to see that with the tire fall off in the green flag laps. Drivers and teams are probably going to want to make adjustments to their cars during the stage 1 break. So I'd imagine that will be the first area where we will see any sort of pit stops unless we get a caution within the closing laps of that stage. Clifton Walker, Stanley C. Panther, also welcome back into the stream. It is very shady on the front stretch. Yeah, clouds have taken over, and they're still a few hours away from... Shouldn't see any dark skies, really, before the end of this Xfinity race. Should be daylight hours for the entire thing. This is an every weekend thing, Clifton. Every NASCAR race weekend got live commentary streams for the NASCAR Xfinity and NASCAR Cup Series races, as well as the trucks. Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. Trucks are off this weekend, so just the 2 races for you guys. Byron up to 12th. They're starting 28th. Chandler Smith's extended his lead to 2 seconds. Allgaier has moved up to 3rd. Almirola now to 4th. During this commercial break, both Riley Herbst and Corey Heim are starting to slip back just a little bit. And the lap times as well for looks like Justin Allgaier right there with Chandler Smith. Cole Custer in second, being outpaced at this point in the run by both Allgaier and Almirola, who are closing in behind him. Allgaier now within just a couple tenths of a second of each other.
The call811.com every dig, every time, 200. And we got 20 laps to go in stage one.
You did well.
Thank you. You did good.
I dig what you did.
You know, the driver's only thing is coming up in Charlotte. And I got to get good at that stuff because Harvick used to do all that for us up in the booth. And now I am taking over the, what is that position called? The play-by-play?
Yes.
That's me.
That is the lead broadcaster, my friend. And
look out.
knocked it out of the park, Joey.
Well, I don't know about that, but.
How about Justin Allgaier? Up 2 positions since the start of the race. 2-time winner here. Nice view of his dad sitting on the pit box, some fans, and his team working hard. Let's get an update on him. Regan.
Well, Jamie, things are going well for Justin so far. Interesting. I talked to him yesterday, and he had a little bit different opinion about what this race might look like. Felt like it was going to be more of a bottom feeder race, and you see him right now running below the yellow line. Said he felt like all the traction compound that used to be on Phoenix was finally worn off. Thought this was going to play right to his hands, and it is right now. He's turning some very quick lap times. Happy in the race car, just a little bit loose off right now. Josh?
An update on the 26th of Corey Heim. This is just his 6th NASCAR Xfinity Series race. He's full-time in the Truck Series with Tricon this year once again. Checked in with him earlier. Excited about the weekends where he doesn't have to do double duty. He can focus just on the car in Xfinity and learning. Well, he fired up pretty good, said it was just a little tight in the center. Then he said it's snappy when he initially gets to the throttle in 3. And for Joey and Daniel, what does it mean when the guy said it's snappy getting off the throttle?
She's a little too loose, as you see. Bradley Herbst take a little air off that spoiler and get a little freer even. You know, Corey obviously did an amazing job qualifying. He's done a good job of keeping that thing up front, too, showing the speed that they really got there. But he's got a lot of cars breathing down his neck right now. As John Hunter Nemechek, one of the best in the Xfinity Series right now, coming off a win last week, right on him.
So we're right on board with John Hunter Nemechek. Let's take a look at our top performers from Toyota. Chandler Smith continues to lead. Eric Almirola, 4th. Corey Heim, John Hunter Nemechek. Not a bad day for them, but that's kind of what you expect when you come to Phoenix, right?
Oh, yeah. My God, yeah. Those Gibbs cars here for years have been very, very strong.
16 wins they have.
Yeah, it seems to me that it doesn't matter the package. It doesn't matter if they have high downforce, low downforce. I mean, when I was with them back in 2015 and 16, I remember that the cars were super strong. So they have something figured out. Having 4 cars in the top 7 is quite impressive. And the 20 is still coming.
The 20 and Nemechek back there in 7th. Riding on board with Frankie Muniz. Hasn't made up a whole lot of ground. He's down a lap, but just learning every lap, right, Joey? You talked on the radio about just surrounding himself with all these racers that have been doing it, trying to learn every lap and finish the race.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard racetrack. Phoenix is one of the most technical racetracks. It's really hard to get around, and it's such a level up from the Arca Menard series to the Xfinity series. I mean, it is so much tougher. The talent that is in this series, the race teams that have good cars, it's pretty deep. So it takes a while to get your head wrapped around that, for sure.
Well, I agree with Frankie. He said, if you want to get better, you have to surround yourself with better drivers, to learn from the best guys. And yeah, he's putting the bar pretty high in the Xfinity series, but I think he's gonna be able to learn quicker than if he was in a lower division series. He's definitely going to school right now.
Just saw Chandler Smith as the course of the run is carried on. He's using a lot of the apron towards the 2/3 to 3/4 mark of the turns 1 and 2 apex. So really diamonding the corners off, trying to better his laps, lap after lap. It takes a lot of grip in those tires to be able to do that. So to have that this late in the run, really a great job by Chandler Smith, and it's probably a result of him having a 2+ second lead. Cole Custer still hangs on to second. Allgaier and Almirola started to close in on him, but as the leaders have gotten into lap traffic, the ability to get closer to the next car for position in front of you has definitely slowed down quite a bit. Currently sitting at 32 cars on the lead lap. BJ McLeod, the last of which on the lead lap for the time being, but that could change between now and, of course, the end of the stage. We still have 10 laps to go in this stage. Chandler Smith, again, your race leader, 2.4 seconds ahead of Cole Custer in second. Justin Allgaier in third. Eric Almirola fourth, and Riley Herbst is your top 5. Smith has led every lap of the race so far. Trying to go for that third stage win of the season already. Side-by-side commercial break on Fox Sports 1. So we'll take a little break ourselves here. You're listening live to the Call811.com. Every dig, every time, 200 at Phoenix. Do they replace or repair body panels? Well, it depends. They usually try to repair them. Very rarely you'd ever see them replace, especially during the race. I think unless they knew it was going to be a lengthy amount of time to actually repair the race car and they were going to lose laps under caution anyway, then they would just end up replacing them. But also under the damaged vehicle policy clock now, that allotted time is not very high, so you would see a team try to repair it as best they can, or maybe meet minimum speed and then bring it back on the pit road or into the garage to completely replace it. But yeah, usually you don't see them replace. Most of them are repairs, especially on race day. And prior to race day, if it's banged up enough to where they can't repair it, then they just roll out the backup car, because if you're going to replace the part, then you're going to end up having to start at the back anyway. So you might as well roll the next car out, so that way if there's any sort of issues come the very beginning of race day, you wouldn't have to necessarily worry about it as much with like a tire rub or something of that nature. So yeah, very rarely they actually replace on race day or even really race weekend, especially anymore. Yep, pound them out with the sledgehammer. They definitely don't use the fanciest tools to do that stuff. Baseball bats, I think I've seen on pit road before. The aluminum ones. Got 38 likes on the stream already. Appreciate that, everybody. Be sure to hit the like button again if you guys haven't done so yet. Try to get to that goal of 100 likes before the end of this race. Almost a quarter of the way home, and we're over a third of the way to our goal. So we're on pace right now. Let's keep hitting that like button. And also don't forget to vote for who you think is going to win the race today. You have until the end of stage 2 to do that. Byron leading the poll, actually tied for the lead with others. A very close poll. Name check, 26% of the votes, and 57 votes have been cast. I do believe you can change your vote if you do wish so. Again, that will close at the end of stage 2. Down to 5 laps to go now in stage 1 for Chandler Smith. Hard battle for position between Sam Mayer and John Hunter Nemechek. Byron's kind of stalled out in the 12th place position in his run through the field, but Mayer, who started outside the top 20 as well, has now broken into the 8th place position. It seems to be better on the much longer run than even William Byron. That last lap, Sam Mayer was the 3rd fastest on the racetrack, only behind Custer and Allgaier. And I'm not sure how heavy the lap traffic's been for Chandler Smith the last few laps, but he's gone from a 2.4 second lead to a 1.8 second lead. Although having that big of a lead, I don't think he's in danger of losing it, unless they really get stacked up in front of him in the last 2 laps or so of this stage. 1.6 seconds now, 2 to go for Chandler Smith. Brandon Jones has also worked himself into the top 10, gaining a half a dozen positions from the start of the race. Last year's Spring Phoenix winner Sammy Smith still struggling, qualified deep in the field and is back at 22nd place. Josh Berry in that same car a season ago ended up having no wins after the season before that, having 3. So got some work to do at Junior Motorsports for pretty much every car in the field that isn't Justin Allgaier to have more consistency from top to bottom out of those Chevys more often than not. Sam Mayer's had some good runs too. So other than Mayer and Allgaier, though, the 8 and the 9 car over the last year and a half, they have struggled mightily. I mean, heck, even Dale Jr. in a one-off at Bristol last year was outrunning both those cars the entire race, and he hasn't obviously been full-time in a while. Nonetheless, in an Xfinity Series car. Chandler Smith is just concluded stage one with the victory, leading all 45 laps of the first stage. Cole Custer finishes second in stage one. Justin Allgaier third, Eric Almirola fourth, and Riley Herbst rounded out the top five. That top five pretty much stayed the same in that order for about the last 20-plus laps of the stage. Behind Herbst in fifth is Brandon Jones in sixth, Sam Mayer seventh. Corey Heim, after starting third, fell to eighth. John Hunter Nemechek fell to ninth place, and Jesse Love rounded out the top 10. Those are all drivers receiving stage points for stage one. Heim and Nemechek are not Xfinity Series regulars. Heim a Truck Series points getter, and Nemechek a full-time Cup Series regular. Those points will be awarded to the 26 and 20 cars for the owner standings. And again, with Nemechek getting that win last week, he's qualified the 20 car for the owners playoffs. Which we have seen pretty much all the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas in the owners playoffs the last several years. Ryan Truex got a win in the 19 car at Dover last year that got that car into the playoffs. And then, of course, Nemechek full-time in the Xfinity Series in the 20. Ty Gibbs got a win in the 54 at one point in time. Or it might have been a different car number than that. Oh, he drove the 19 as well. So, yeah, there was 2 wins in the 19 car last season. It was at Dover for Ryan Truex, and then also at Indianapolis for Ty Gibbs on the road course. I was going to say, I knew there was another one that went to victory lane, and I forgot it was the 19 as well. Sammy Smith, obviously, in the 18 car was full-time last season in the Xfinity Series. He made the playoffs, had a win right here at Phoenix. Give me the muffins in the background. The box is empty. I did not eat a single one. I didn't realize those were visible in the camera until just now. Jesse Love is making Haley Deegan look bad. I mean, he's in a lot better equipment. I mean, Haley Deegan's pretty much going to be running 15th to 25th place every single weekend in the Xfinity Series. I mean, that's just the equipment she has. Anything better than a top 15 is a really good day, and if she doesn't complete all the laps or, finishes, outside really the top, 25 or so, it's a bad day. So, Jesse Love in the top 10, he's in a Childress car. I mean, you got to think, Sheldon Creed didn't even win a car in two full seasons. 2 full seasons in the number 2. He didn't win a race. So, I wouldn't say that it's making her look bad necessarily. But that's also credit to Jesse Love for having a good start. First, 3-4 weeks into the season. Probably could have had a win already at Atlanta. Led all but a dozen laps in that race. Fortunately, ran out of gas and ended up not even really getting a good finish out of it as well. Who ate your muffins? That'd be my sister. My sister ate the muffins. She's watching the Michigan and Iowa women's basketball game right now, so she can't even hear me, I don't think. She's not looking at me. There's no way. There's no way she hears me. Probably for the better. All right, we got our first pit stops of the day.
Josh, they're coming your way.
I'll start with the 98 of Riley Herbst. He said the car was getting better as the run went along, but his main concern is that we just need better drive off, having trouble rotating through the center as well, so they're going to try and help him out. As far as Corey Heim in the 26, a strong run for him so far. Said late center, just not great, having the same issues they had in practice, so they're going to double this together.
It's been smooth sailing for the 81 of Chandler Smith so far. A little concern over the left front, having a little smoke early on in the race. Otherwise, the car was good. Just a little bit too tight through turns 3 and 4 at the end of the run. And the 00 Cole Custer has been in second place. He needs the front to turn just a little bit better right now. Doesn't want to go too far with the adjustments, though, and make it too loose in the long run.
All right, race off of pit road is going to be won by Justin Allgaier, it appears. No, Cole Custer got it. I thought by the naked eye, Allgaier won the race out of the pits. It was that close. Allgaier does not win the race out of the pits. He does gain a spot. Your stage 1 winner, Chandler Smith, loses 3 spots on pit road, so he's now back to 4th. Nemechek got 4 spots back on his pit stop. Brandon Jones -3, -1 for Eric Almirola, and up 1 for Cole Custer. Custer won the race out of the pits, and so he's back in the lead. That number 1 pit box, definitely a credit into that being the case when you consider the fact at least in the Cup Series side of things, the number one pit box has won 3 of the last 7 races at Phoenix. I'd imagine in the truck in the Xfinity Series, it'd have to be a pretty similar stat line as well. So it works out for him. Goes from second to first just like that. And honestly, if he didn't have the number one pit box, it definitely would have been Allgaier winning the race out of the pits as it was that close already as it was. Definitely helped with the guy that was leading the race coming in having not so good of a stop. We saw that last week in the Xfinity race as well from Chandler Smith, that he lost the lead during the stage 1 pit stops, and he ended up getting back to the lead in the middle going to stage 2, won the second stage. Final stage did the same thing, but was never able to get back to the front really. Was kind of about second or third the rest of the way after that. So as far as this race goes, maybe off to a similar start. We'll see if he can continue to keep on keeping on, get back to the front of the field, and try to sweep the stages for the second week in a row. William Byron looks to have been 11th out of the pits. So went in 11th, came out 11th in the 17. He's yet to break into the top 10, but this can definitely be the first time. Tim Hortons has delicious muffins. I can say that I have not had a Timmy Ho's muffin. I think the only thing I ever eaten from Tim Hortons is the classic Timbits. I'm not a big, coffee person either, so like I never really go there. I don't eat sweets really anymore anyway, so between that and not being a big coffee drinker, if I do, I'm usually going to Starbucks or just like from the place I work at full time, there's a McDonald's semi close. So if I'm like really dragging in the morning, I'll just get a regular iced coffee from there. But that's about it. All right, let's look at the poll in the chat. We got 65 votes so far. 34% of you still say somebody other than Nemechek, Byron, Custer will win. Well, Chandler Smith's off to a good start, so maybe that has skewed the poll a little bit. Tell my sister to stay out of the month. Well, they're gone, so I don't have to. It's already covered. 45 likes on the stream as well. Appreciate it, everybody. Hit that like button again if you guys haven't done so yet, so we can get to our goal of 100 for this stream. Reminder, NASCAR Cup Series live commentary stream tomorrow begins at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And also don't forget, time change for most of you in the U.S., including myself here tonight. You're losing an hour of sleep. But you know what? If you think about the positives of that, that means we're just 1 hour sooner to the drop of the green flag for the race tomorrow. Oddly enough, usually on the Phoenix Championship race weekend is the time change too, and I just now realized that. We have a time change on both Phoenix race weekends, at least in the last calendar year. It might have been like that like every year, and I'm just now realizing it. Well, it wouldn't be every year because Phoenix hasn't been the finale every. Well, yeah, but at that time though, the season went into like the week before Thanksgiving, so that still could be the case. It still could be the case. It's an interesting factoid there. Learn something new every day. Like coffee with the fancy creamers. Don't mind black. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If I do, it's got to be cold. It's got to be an iced coffee. I'm more of like a cold drink person. Like if I'm drinking anything, it's got to be cold. It's just more refreshing that way. Even if it's in the middle of winter, I still like it better than warm drinks. I've always been like that. You got water, you're putting ice in it. You know, if it is a bottle of water, it's got to be refrigerated. The rare occasions I do get a coffee, it's iced coffee. It's not. I don't even really care too much for just regular coffee in general. Don't think Arizona has daylight. No, it does not. I can confirm that. Arizona does not have daylight savings. And the only reason I can't confirm that is because when I went to the Phoenix race on championship race weekend in 2022, there was no time change, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. I was already in a different time zone as it was, and then there wasn't a time change there when I was there, but when I came back the next day, back to Ohio, there was a time change, so it was a little weird. Green flag back in the air. Great launch on the restart for Cole Custer. Easily had the lead going down into the first turn, and Justin Allgaier, who was on the outside of row one, did not take off well at all, kind of spun the tires, and as a result, Allgaier not only loses the lead, or a chance at the lead, but also loses second place, and Chandler Smith, who was in fourth inside of row two on the restart, is now quickly back to second despite losing 3 positions on pit road, and he can challenge Custer for the race lead again. Big block on the front stretch by Sheldon Creed on A.J. Allmendinger. Back half of the top 10, they battle nearly 3 wide into the first turn. That was Custer's first lap led of the race, by the way. Was under the yellow flag after he won the race off pit road. First green flag lap led of stage 2 is his first green flag lap led of the day, despite qualifying on the pole. Again, Chandler Smith, who started second outside of row 1, was the leader at the end of not only the first lap, but every lap in stage 1 Chandler Smith led. So now that Smith's in traffic for the first time today, not heavy traffic, but in second, having to deal with some sort of dirty air in the early going of the run, we'll see if Custer, with the clean air advantage, can hold on to the race lead. Custer was second at the end of stage 1, so he did maintain his track position well even after losing the lead, but he fell more than 2 seconds behind, never really cut back into that till the very closing laps when it might have been the 81 of Chandler Smith just kind of taking it easy the last lap or two to not push the issue when he had already pretty much had the stage win in hand. William Byron side by side for position with Sheldon Creed battling for 12th. Byron did not go forward on that restart, actually lost a spot or two. Still dealing with traffic back there in the 17. HendrickMotorsports.com Chevrolet. HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, not HendrickMotorsports.com Chevrolet. Big loose moment on the outside of turns 3 and 4 for Sam Mayer. He was side by side with Jesse Love. Love completes the pass on the inside after Mayer's loose moment, and it actually allowed for Brandon Jones to have to check up to keep from getting into the back of his teammate. It allows for Austin Hill to close in on both race cars. Hill to the outside of Jones now off turn 2, gets the momentum. And Hill, who qualified not so hot in this race, 15th, has been pretty much outside the top 10 the whole day. Strong start, winning the first 2 races of the season. As mentioned, coming into this race, still the only driver through the first 3 races that is actually locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs. Cup regular and Nemechek winning last week, and Hill winning the first 2 of the season. Battle for second. Chandler Smith not going to be able to close in close enough to make a pass on Cole Custer, so Allgaier's just going to take that advantage on the 81 and try to make a pass for second himself. Was unable to do so on the inside of 3 and 4. Eric Almirola now in the mix, and we have a 3-car battle for second place going on lap 16 of 45 in stage 2 and lap 61 of 200 overall. Nose to tail of those 3 cars, second through 4th. And now to the inside of the 7 is Almirola. Almirola got pinched down quite a bit. Clipped that yellow line maybe a little bit too much when trying to make the pass on Smith. And as a result, it definitely hurt him. Not as aggressive of a line that time for Allgaier on Almirola, so they'll still be side by side on the front stretch. Eric slipping those rear tires a little bit. Definitely seems like Almirola is struggling to hook the bottom of 3 and 4 when he is side by side with another car. And I'm sure most cars are going to have to deal with that problem throughout the race today. But I noticed that in stage 1, Joey Logano picked up on that on the broadcast for the little part that we listened to as well. And he washes up again. And this is going to cost him a spot as there's a big source of speed coming from behind. The 20 of Nemechek down to the apron through the dog leg. Gets to the inside of the 19. Almost clears him getting into the first turn. Slides up. Takes his line away and definitely is clear. And because he hadn't slid up so far up the racetrack, big lift by the 19, and Riley Herbst is in the mix. So a lot of good racing going on right now in the top 10. A lot of battles for position. And after the failed pass attempt for second on Allgaier a few laps ago on Chandler Smith, Smith has broken away from this 3 to 4 car battle for third place behind him now, which has gotten even more intense between the 3 cars battling for fourth. Allgaier starting to pull back away from both Nemechek, Almirola, and now Herbst. 81 of Chandler Smith all over the back bumper of Cole Custer, closing that gap again. trying to find a way around him under green flag conditions to potentially get to the race lead. Lap 20 of stage 2, still 26 to go in the second stage. A lot of racing still remains. Taking a little peek towards that inside lane, getting into turn 3 that time was Smith, but didn't commit to it. William Byron still in 12th. Byron is still yet to break into the top 10. He went from 28th to 12th pretty quickly, but then again stalled out in 12th. Stayed there for the second half of stage 1. Restarted 11th and is still right around 12th place again. So Byron just unable to get through traffic, and really looking at his lap times, 29-second flat nearly that last lap. And the race leader, Cole Custer, granted he has the clean air, but about 3 to 4 tenths quicker than that. So I don't think Byron's necessarily got the car capable of getting the race win. Anything could happen if you get the track position. It's a very, very difficult racetrack to try to pass on, maneuver around. And we'll see if we get any passes for the lead as this race unfolds. 50 likes on the stream already. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that like button. We're already halfway to our goal of 100. So once again, let's try to get to 100 likes on stream before the end of this one. We're already halfway there, and we're only a third of the way through the race. Appreciate it. Lap 67, 133 still to go. 74 votes for who you think will win the race in the poll that's open in the chat. 32% of you say somebody other than Custer, Nemechek, and Byron will win. Maybe that will be Nemechek. We'll see if you guys will be correct on that and who will be the fan vote winner for this race today. Robert Goodrich, thanks for tuning into the stream. We'll take a little ad break here during this action that is taking place on a side-by-side commercial break on FS1. And we'll continue our live commentary coverage of the NASCAR Xfinity race at Phoenix. Side-by-side battle for second place again between Chandler Smith and Justin Allgaier. And Allgaier, that time in turns 1 and 2, tried to make the pass. Was unable to complete it again. Almirola to the inside of the 7. Still no pass made. You can tell it is so difficult to make a pass here at Phoenix. We've seen drivers get side-by-side multiple times, but inside the top 5, really, we haven't seen much passing going on, at least in stage 2. We got into lap traffic, and that's where we were able to see some of the other drivers, like an Allgaier and an Almirola, get to 3rd and 4th at the end of the last stage. But that was very, very deep into the run. And we're still middle going to stage 2 right now.
The 81 slips back, and his teammate, Eric Almirola, looks like he made some good adjustments to that car as they battle for the 3rd spot.
This isn't going to be an easy pass for Eric down there. Unless he clears it right there. And he made it look easy. That was not easy, just so you know. They did a good job of that.
But, Joey, that's exactly what we're talking about. The 81, it looked like he was the class of the field from. You put him on traffic, you reduce his tires a little bit, and look at him now. It's a completely different race. So now, first run in stage 1, he was cruising. I'm pretty sure he didn't make any adjustments on his car, and right now he's looking for some adjustments. And the 0-0 is the one that he's enjoying the cleaner.
Let's watch that pass again, Joey, that you talked about there, Almirola.
Yeah, you see, he's able to roll to the outside, 81 Chandler Smith. Well, then he goes back to the inside with the run. And right here, you're kind of entering side by side. You're not really sure how it's going to go. Eric did a good job at just hugging that yellow line and clearing them really easy. And something I think Chandler kind of gave that spot to him, too. Just said, okay, I don't have the best piece right now. I need to manage my car, manage my tires, so I don't lose more. So still 17 laps to go. You can burn them up and lose even more spots. Something we've seen with the 81 of Chandler Smith. Car fires off fast. He was pressuring Cole Custer for the lead. It just falls off hard.
Justin Allgaier 4 tenths back, but he's closing. Listen to Corey Himes' radio. He's falling back quite a bit.
Settle in here. Everybody just settle in here. Get your tires cooled down. Literally about to wreck this thing. Yep, just take care of it.
So he's gone the wrong direction, down in 18th now. Remember, he started up there in the top 5.
There's something wrong.
There's something wrong with that car. He's extremely loose. He either has a tire going down or something, because he was a top 5 car a little bit ago, and now he's outside the top 10.
Look at him steering down the straightaway. He's got something broken in the back, a flat tire, or something's the track bar.
Yeah, we're looking at it. Something's wrong with it.
Regan, what are you hearing?
Well, Jamie, we'll have to get an update on the 26 as to what he's got going on. The 7 of Justin Allgaier, though, right now, everything going right for him. He said something interesting on the last yellow, though. Talked about the track rubber and how greasy it was getting. Joey and Daniel, when you hear a track is greasing up like that, the rubber is greasy, I know as a driver that's fun. It means you can get some options to move around and work the racetrack, do different things.
Yeah, they're moving around all over the place. You see it below the yellow line, up above it, working lap traffic here as you go by Frankie. I mean, this is these guys are going to battle it out to the end of the stage with 14 to go, and you bet they both want that stage point, that stage win, to get that playoff point.
These stages fly by the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 13 laps to go. Yep, there he is. Corey Heim just got word he is coming to pit road. As you guys
the
know,
right rear wheel is loose, or might be coming off.
Yeah, I saw the same thing, Joe. The right rear was kind of like wobbling. Yeah.
well, Josh, Corey Heim's on pit road, coming your way.
Yeah, you guys were talking about it. There's an issue with that 26. You can see he came over the radio to tip down, but it looks like that right rear is fluttering. Corey Heim felt like something was wrong. He was going to try and stay out of the way, but he said, no, I got to come in. We got to figure out what is wrong here.
Unfortunate for them. Corey Heim with his best qualifying effort in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the best for Sam Hunt Racing. And you look right here.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to drive. Right rear tires coming off the car.
The surprising thing is that he said that his car was extremely loose, but he never mentioned a vibration. I mean, you want to think that with a wheel like that, it would have a huge vibration. But the problem right now, Jamie and Joe, is that the stocks, they have to be damaged.
You would think it's going to be harder to get it tight after that, as it kind of boogers up the threads, right, to where it's hard to get it tight from there.
Yeah, they may have to add some spacers or something.
But SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen back in 20th, battling Anthony Alfredo, learning every single lap.
You know, Shane, he's a very talented race car driver. He's obviously jumping into something completely new for him. He's very disciplined. He's putting into the work, and I'm really looking forward to see how he continues to develop in the first few months of the Xfinity season.
He has such a great attitude. We talk about that so much, that's such a big part of it, your attitude and embracing all this change and not getting overwhelmed with it. He's always smiling, and he's truly enjoying what he's doing with you guys out there on the racetrack.
And I can see that being tough for Shane, because, listen, Shane's used to winning. Shane's a winner, and he's got used to that in Australia. It's going to take a minute for him to get used to these Xfinity cars. I expect him to be back in the winning ways here soon, for sure. Especially as you get Dakota on a road course, he's going to be stout, no doubt in my mind.
You saw the rookie standings there. Leland Honeyman from right here in Phoenix has a bunch of friends and family here. He's third in the rookie standings. Interesting background on him. He grew up racing off-road trophy trucks with Haley Deegan. He's got a Bandolero National Championship. And now 19-year-old racing here in the Xfinity Series. Let's get to know him a little better.
I'm Leland Honeyman Jr., and I drive the 42 for Young's Motorsports. I grew up in Peoria, Arizona. I was born and raised here for about 10 years, and I moved out to North Carolina when I was 10 years old. Fun facts, I like Oreos. I would say just the regular normal Oreos. Oreos and milk is probably the way to go for me. You know, it's like Santa. He likes cookies and milk. I like Oreos and milk. Same thing.
Oreos. Joey, you're turning your head. Are you not an Oreo
I like
guy?
Oreos. I like Oreos. Interesting fun fact to have.
Hey, let me tell you, when I was growing up, I used to eat Oreos with milk, so I cannot say anything about that.
Why don't you anymore now that you're grown up?
Because I find out it was not so good for you.
As we eat pizza.
Yeah, I know.
Give and take, right? Gotta.
Hey, look at Justin Allgaier. You know, he had a horrible restart. He was blaming to everyone on the radio, and right now he put all his stuff together, and he's moving forward, good long run car. I mean, he could be one of the best cars out there.
Watch the 97 save.
There you go. Woo! That's my boy right there.
He's learning on the racetrack.
He's learning.
See why we love when you guys wear white gloves?
Yes.
Those shots, it just shows how much you're working inside that car.
And I think he's learning, the aero position of the cars, right? Like when you get somebody, it's one thing making laps by yourself, but when you start racing other cars, you put your car in different positions, and you're getting you're right inside somebody like that. It takes a little air off the side of that car, could make it loose. As you can see, he had a heck of a save there, but he learned a lesson there as he gets back underneath Anthony, able to clear him this time, kind of slides up in front of him, learning that slide job.
Well, you guys have talked about how the track continually changes. We're actually under cloud cover completely right now. Let's listen in to Eric Almirola and what he's saying about the track now.
Did you put air in the right rear? No, took it out. Really free. Whole track's got cloud cover right now. Super sensitive to that. Plus, we were on stickers this time.
He brought up a good point there. Cluster on stickers. Remember, they start the race on their qualifiers. So you're on Scub, and they ran 2 runs on that. Typically, a second cycle on tires tightens your car up a little bit. So it's where it gets really hard to adjust on these cars because you don't get a clean read on the first run.
3 laps to go here in stage number 2. Chandler Smith swept the first stage. It's been all about Cole Custer on the second stage.
There is going to be someone out there that is going to be able to pass for the lead. I think it's going to be the 7 car.
Yeah,
The 7 car seems to me that is the best car so far because he's able to close the gap to whoever he's in front of him. He hasn't been able to complete the pass, but he has the speed and the capacity to be able to close the gap and make a good battle.
He definitely has the speed. He does not have the versatility in his race car. You see, he's just on the bottom. He's a little loose off. He's trying. Might as well use him up. You only got 1 more lap here on the stage. But I see him just running the bottom down here at 1 and 2. You got to be able to move up the racetrack to make the pass.
Take some tires here, maybe some adjustments, and that'll leave these teams 1 set of sticker tires to the end of the race. Cole Custer making his way through turn 3. And the green and white checkered is out. Cole Custer picks up stage number 2, his first of the season. Cole Custer's been quick today, started on pole. At 42 laps, picks up the stage win. Can he hang on and get the win here in Phoenix once again?
Custer top of the leaderboard at the end of stage 2, picking up his first stage win of the season. Justin Allgaier ends up second in the stage. Eric Almirola third, Chandler Smith fourth, Riley Herbst fifth, John Hunter Nemechek sixth, Sam Mayer seventh, Jesse Love eighth, Brandon Jones ninth, and Austin Hill into the top 10 for the first time today as he rounds out the top 10. Byron, again, not in the top 10 at the end of stage 2. Definitely one of the heavy hitters to potentially win this race today. And now that we are at the end of stage 2, it means it is time to close the poll for who I think is going to end up getting the win. I picked Cole Custer. You guys did not think so. You thought only, or I should say only 12% of you thought that somebody other than Byron Nemechek or Custer, other than Byron Nemechek or other would have won. So 12% of the votes for Custer, 25% for William Byron. He was tied for the lead in the poll at the very beginning of the race, but obviously it doesn't look like his speed is there. And Nemechek has surpassed him in the poll at 28%. Other, though, leading the way at 34%. So, who is going to be right? Is it going to be me, picking Custer, or is it going to be you guys in chat, somebody other than those 3 drivers? Maybe none of us. Maybe John Hunter gets the win, or William Byron somehow has lightning strike in the final stage. I mean, if there is a driver in the field to do that, it's him, considering the experience in the Cup Series, winningness, I guess, that he has had over the last several years. Could it be a factor in this as well? But still trying to get used to these Xfinity cars. Again, very different from the Cup Series. And on top of that, it is a car that didn't really have as much speed this weekend, particularly, than what we've seen in other instances where the 17 car has ran Xfinity races in the past years. I mean, Byron's contended and or won races in this car before, so it's not like The equipment isn't there, but it just doesn't seem like the speed is there necessarily today. I mean, to look at the top of the leaderboard, there was only one Chevy inside the top 6, and that was Justin Allgaier. And that's kind of the case at Phoenix, where it seems like the Toyotas and the Fords in pretty much all 3 series seem to be the dominant manufacturer on these flatter racetracks for whatever reason. You get to intermediate tracks, and that's where Chevys kind of tend to take over a lot of the time. But yeah, I don't know what it is about the flatter racetracks, but they tend to struggle. That is the case so far today, outside of Allgaier, who has been very fast, just hasn't been able to pass the race leader. We haven't seen a green flag pass for the lead yet today. Chandler Smith led every lap of stage 1. Cole Custer, who won the race off pit road, led every lap of stage 2. So who's going to win here in stage 3? We got 2 more pit stops to get to the end yet. Each team will have an extra set of tires left still to get to the end of the race. And obviously the fuel window is shorter than the final stage, which will be right around 100 laps to go when we get back to racing. So second to last stop coming up right about the midway point. And we'll have those pit stops coming for you very shortly here. 55 likes on the stream. Appreciate that, each and every one of you guys that have hit the like button or even just watching today's live stream on the channel. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys have not yet, so we can get to our goal of 100 before the end of this race.
Remember, it is daylight savings time. We spring forward, so make sure you change your clocks, but not here in Phoenix, all right? How about this? Big day tomorrow for our own Joey Logano. 400 start at Team Penske, Joey.
Wow.
400. And you know what's happening to me is I'm starting to go to like autograph sessions and meet fans. It's great, but they're showing me pictures of when they were like 6. And now they're like full grown with a beard, and you're like, ah.
You know? My mom's a big fan of yours. You did that.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Yes.
So it's been an interesting ride, but it's been great. Team Penske's been a great place to work. Roger does an amazing job leading, and a lot of fun times, a lot of challenges that we've overcome over the years, and a lot of wins, a couple of championships in that time. So it's been special.
Yes, it has. How many more? How many more wins? How many more starts do you have in you?
Many as I can. As long as they still want me to work here.
I don't see you ever hanging up the steering.
As long as I can win and I'm competitive, I think I'll keep going.
I love to hear it. All right, pit road is open. Second opportunity for these teams to pit today. Remember, Chandler Smith lost a couple spots on pit road with a slow stop the first time around. And here come the leaders. Josh.
Start with the 20 of John Hunter Nemechek. He said, I need better lateral grip. He said he can't get back to the power the way he wants to. The team told him to make an air pressure and track bar adjustment to help him turn. As far as the 98 of Riley Herbst, he said, guys, I have no grip, whether it's the front or the rear. He said it's good for about 4 laps, and then I lose it. They're going to tighten him up as well, Regan.
7 and Justin Allgaier struggled the first run of the race with a little bit of front turn. They made a good adjustment. He wants half that amount of the adjustment again. Still just a little bit too tight with the nose of his car. And the 00 of Cole Custer, overall, that whole run was just a little bit too free for him with the back sliding. He said he wants just a small change to help that out and needs overall grip at the end of the run.
We definitely saw that needed grip. Got pretty loose for Cole Custer at the end of that run. And the battle off pit road. Cole Custer's team gets it done. Justin Allgaier, Herbst, Chandler Smith, and John Hunter Nemechek. Want to dial up our stage winner?
Let's do it. Cole Custer, Joey Logano up in the Fox booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys there.
Well, things are looking pretty good for you. You're making me look smart because you were my pick to win the race. You got the #1 pit stall. It got you the lead. You did a good job maintaining the lead through that stage, getting the stage win. Starting up front again. Looks like the 7 is your strongest competition. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think the field's pretty tight here with me, the 7, and the 81. I'm sure there's some other guys that are pretty good back there, too. But overall, just got to keep this thing up here and fight all we can.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're doing a good job at it. Yeah, it looks like the 81 fires off fast, but you got that long haul going in that Ford, so keep it up.
Thanks. Hopefully get a dark horse in victory lane.
Cole Custer, second in stage 1, first in stage number 2. Will he hang on to it at the end? Stay with us from Phoenix.
All right. We'll take another ad break here while we're under the stage break, and the final stage of action will begin shortly in the second half of this NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Phoenix. You're listening live on KRC. Slow stop for Eric Almirola. Yep, he lost quite a few positions. Was third at the end of stage 1, now 7th. 4 positions lost for him. Riley Hurst with a pretty fast stop as well, getting back up to 3rd, gaining a few positions there. And William Byron still in 12th. 11th, 12th. He's fluctuated for really the whole race outside of the fact that he qualified 28. Once he got to 12th, kind of stayed there. And yeah, it's been 11th or 12th pretty much the whole day for him. Just getting that extra track time for tomorrow, even though it's a much different car, it still helps. Any extra laps you can have at that same racetrack you're going to be having, whatever your big race is, it only helps you more. Especially with the lack of practice that drivers and teams get nowadays. Extra laps, the better. As you heard on the broadcast too, first of 10 races the 17 car will partake in the Xfinity Series. All 4 Hendrick drivers will make at least one start in that car. So obviously, you got Byron today. Kyle Larson will be in there soon. Chase Elliott's scheduled to run the next race at COTA. Boris said, going to be also running at COTA. A couple of weeks, making his return. 61 years of age, as Boris said. To see him in a competitive car. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, the Hungry One. Rob LaPopel, thanks for tuning in. Yep, Cole Custer did get the race win off of pit road. Hopefully SVG's car last week doesn't look like a very good car. Until Phoenix, very hard track. Thanks to no car time at Vegas. Yeah, it's true, we did have that, what was it, an engine issue really early in the Phoenix race? 17th, honestly, it's not bad. He's kind of slowly climbed through the field. I think he qualified 23rd. And he'll gain a few positions pretty much every stage. So if he gets a top 15 run out of this, I think it's a successful day at his first trip to a track like Phoenix. Really, short track race in general. Joey Logano over the broadcast mentioned how technical this racetrack is, and it's because there is no symmetrical corners on this racetrack. One is really flat, wide sweeping. The other one is fast and tight and slightly more banked. And of course the dog leg versus the back stretch is completely different, how you approach that. So yeah, it's a very difficult racetrack to try to get in a rhythm. You go to most ovals, they're very rhythm based. It's easy to get into a rhythm. This is not the case. And even though most of the ovals necessarily aren't symmetrical anymore, like the mile and a half tracks, having a tri-oval or a quad oval shape on the front stretch, it is pretty easy to get in a rhythm by way of cornering your car around both ends of the racetrack. But again, here it's very, very difficult.
Giving up on racing with any respect at all, like just all a bunch of. That's just how I guess I'm gonna have to start racing. Well, the experience and patience will pay off over the long season. Just do you.
Oh, you just do you.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think he has experience, he has the patience, and I think at the end of the day, that's gonna pay off.
Eddie DeHaan is so chill. That's why I was surprised to hear the radio. He said he got too excited on the restart.
Yeah, I have never seen the guy excited.
No.
Never say go this time. It's always you're gonna say on you.
Yeah, this one's on you, buddy.
All right, Justin Allgaier restarting on the front row for the first time today. Cole.
All right, green flag back in the air. Allgaier was on the front row for the restart earlier today, spun the tires in the outside lane, and not a great takeoff on the outside this time. Cole Custer, who has been on the bottom row of row 1 for every restart today, definitely able to get the timing right with every restart that he has up there. Saw a little bit of 5 wide racing there through the tri-oval, or the dog leg, I should say, on the front stretch, headed into turn 1. Couple rows of 3 and 4 wide at the very least. A little bit of contact. Shane Van Gisbergen getting crowded a little bit. And a 3-wide battle for position just outside the top 15. Gets a spot or two. That was Brendan Poole who made contact with him, but no major issues there. Cole Custer came out with the race lead going into turn 1. Penalty, it looks like, on Frankie Muniz. Maybe a restart violation. Again, you have to get to the start-finish line before you take that cut below the yellow line onto the apron. It's like that for all racetracks. So if you cut to that apron before the start-finish line, it does result in a penalty. He was already 3 laps down, so it's not really going to hurt him too badly in the running order, considering he's already at the back portion of the field. Still to this point, sitting with 29 cars on the lead lap. Free pass went to the 42 of Leland Honeyman during that stage break, the stage 1 break. The 14 car of J.J. Yaley got the free pass, and he's still on the lead lap as well. Only caution for incident was all the way back on lap 4 with Josh Williams, Dawson Cram, Jeremy Clements, and Patrick Emmerly. Emmerly retired from the race after that incident. He was the only driver that got knocked out of it. Ryan Vargas, due to a mechanical failure towards the end of towards the middle going to stage 1 very early in the race, also has retired from the race. So 2 drivers are out. 29 on the lead lap, 36 still in the race. Side-by-side battle for position. The 2 and the 1. Jesse Love, Sam Mayer battling for 7th on the racetrack. Chandler Smith got up to 2nd on the restart, getting by the 7 of Allgaier, who didn't take off very well in the outside row 1 for the 2nd consecutive restart. Same thing happened at the beginning of stage 1, and Smith was overtaken middle going to that stage by Allgaier. The top 2 pulled away from him, but we'll see if maybe there's a little bit more speed for Chandler Smith this go around, and maybe he can put a little bit of a tougher test to that 00 of Custer in stage 3 than he did stage 2. I gotta say, it looks like a really good crowd on hands for this Xfinity Series race today. Doesn't look like there's a lot of empty seats. Don't usually see that for the Xfinity and truck races too much, but yeah, really good crowd on hand. There was a little bit of contact between Jesse Love and Sam Mayer a couple laps ago. Short run speed, again, kind of lacking for Cole Custer a little bit. Over the long run, he kind of tends to pull away just a little bit, at least from all except for Justin Allgaier, who was breathing down his neck pretty much every lap, but Custer didn't fold, and Allgaier couldn't create much of a passing opportunity during the course of stage 2. Have adjustments been made to try to bunch the field that much closer together, maybe make passing a little bit more possible for these drivers at the front. May have to use the bumper too. Got to get there before you can use it. And for Chandler Smith, he is practically there on Cole Custer for the last couple corners. Inches away from the back bumper. Sun's starting to pop out from behind the clouds, at least in turns 1 and 2. It's going to change the track conditions a little bit more. Track temps probably cooled down quite a bit during the course of stage 2 with the cloud coverage coming in. And there's a tap to the back of the 00, a little bump and run as Chandler Smith got to the left rear corner panel of Custer, but he couldn't make the run. He got the bump, but he didn't get the run. Moved him up the hill. Great job by Custer keeping his car control. The 81 of Smith looks to the inside through 1 and 2. All 4 about a lane and a half below the yellow line. Great grip in the corner. Chandler stays to the inside into turn 3. We haven't seen a green flag pass for the lead yet today. Until now, Chandler Smith out in front at Phoenix as he takes the race lead back from Cole Custer. Smith, who was 3rd at the end of stage 2, won stage 1, now back in the lead again with 91 laps to go. Austin Hill falling back right about to where he started, 15th place as he battles Jeb Burton on screen. And Custer maybe going to get freight train now. Allgaier to 2nd. Moving past him, Riley Herbst to the inside of the 00 for 3rd. The teammates nearly make contact. Eric Almirola is in the picture battling for position, so Custer losing time now that he's back in traffic for the first time since stage 1. He was 2nd at the end of that first stage, so 19 stage points today for Custer, most of any driver in the field. In every long run, I should say, there is a short run. So if you are struggling on the short run, like a Cole Custer, especially back in traffic, that definitely hurts. And especially at a track like Phoenix, where it's going to be difficult to get those positions back under green flag racing. Now he's to 4th. Herb's making a pass on him. Almirola with the dive into turn 1, and he's going to get out ahead. Cole Custer has gone from first to 5th rather in the last probably 3 or 4 laps. Nemechek closing in. And Chandler Smith trying to pull away from Justin Allgaier that last lap. He was a little less than 400ths of a second quicker than the 7 car. 87 laps to go here today. And they call 811.com. Every dig, every time, 200 at Phoenix. Go through the full field running order now. Chandler Smith, again, 0.8 of a second, is out ahead of Justin Allgaier. Allgaier's in second. Riley Herbst in third. Eric Almirola fourth. Cole Custer fifth. John Hunter Nemechek in sixth. Seventh place for Sam Mayer. Eighth place for Jesse Love. And ninth is Sheldon Creed. Rounding out the top 10 and 10th is Brandon Jones. William Byron still in 11th. AJ Allmendinger 12th. Parker Kligerman 13th. Sammy Smith 14th. Austin Hill 15th. Jeb Burton 16th. 17th place for Brendan Poole. 18th for Parker Retzlaff. Shane Van Gisbergen 19th. And Ryan Sieg in 20th. Anthony Alfredo 21st. Kyle Sieg 22nd. Haley Deegan 23rd. Ryan Ellis 24th. Jeremy Clements 25th. Leland Honeyman 26th. JJ Yaley 27th. Nick Lights 28th. Kyle Weatherman is the last car in the lead lap at 29th. Blaine Perkins, first car lap down 30th. BJ McLeod, 2 laps down at 31st. Garrett Smithley, 32nd. Josh Williams, 33rd. Corey Heim, 34th, made that unscheduled pit stop in the middle of stage 2 after qualifying 3rd today, so tough run for him. Dawson Cram, 35th, 4 laps down. Frankie Muniz, 7 laps down at 36. Did have to make a pass-through penalty after the restart violation. And 2 cars out of the race. Ryan Vargas will finish 37th. Patrick Emmerly crashed out at lap 5 in this one. He'll finish 38th and last. Average race speed at this point, 94.54 miles per hour. 3 cautions, 2 stage breaks, and 1 caution for incidents, which was, again, back on lap 4 leading into lap 5. So 84 laps to go, and everybody has to pit one more time yet in this race. So there's a chance that Custer can get that track position back. He gets 2 more positions back under green. We get a caution flag pit stop. He could easily come right back out with the lead and gain 2 spots with that number 1 box. So I'm not counting Custer out of this yet. He doesn't have to get back to the lead necessarily on track to get back to the lead in general in this race. Still time remaining, 83 laps, although on a 1-mile racetrack is not a lot of time, but it is time nonetheless. And if there has to be any green flag pit stops, if it goes green to the end, it's another question too. Already seen about 8 to 9 tenths of a second of fall off during this green flag run, and we've only been green for about 20 laps. About exactly 21 laps now. Take an ad break and continue our final stage coverage of this NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Phoenix. 61 likes on the stream right now. Be sure to hit that like button if you guys haven't done so yet, so we can get to our goal of 100 likes on stream. Again, our goal, 100 likes on the stream here today.
He has 2 wins, 6 top 5s. Average finish right there, boys, 3.4. Not bad.
It's pretty good. Very good. Not too bad.
21-year-old from Talking Rock, Georgia. He's a 2-time dad. He's juggling it all. And what a wheelman he is. He was a Toyota development driver. Left last year, came to the Xfinity Series, drove through Colleague, drove for Colleague, and now came back over to Gibbs this year, and here he is leading this race.
He's done a good job taking the advantage that he has in his race car of firing off fast and making the most of it. Now that he's got the lead, he can manage his car, and his fall off probably won't be as bad as it was when he didn't have that track position. So it'll be interesting to see what Justin Allgaier can do as he's in second place right now. We've seen him with the long run speed late in this run. This looks like it's setting up to be a long run here where there could be a lot of strategy options playing as well.
Yeah, I think the 7, if he wants to win this race, he will have to have a very long run here, because there is something, man. There is something that for some reason he's struggling on every restart. Every restart, doesn't matter if he's in the bottom or the top, he's losing a spot. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy to see the rest of the race go green.
Eric Almirola has been hanging right in that 4th position throughout this race, pretty strong, as you see in stage 1, stage 2. Been pretty happy with his car. John Hunter Nemechek, currently 5th. Here, the 16 is having an issue. Josh, what's AJ saying?
Yeah, the 16 right now of AJ Allmendinger, you see him, he really hasn't been able to crack the top 10. Well, now he's falling back. You see him in 22nd, and actually on his teammates' radio, 97, they were saying that 16 is having some engine trouble. Jamie?
Not good for the dinger.
You know something that I'm actually very impressed over the ECR engine. Super good, super strong. Not just in the Cup stuff, but also in Xfinity stuff. And last week Shane had an issue with the engine, and this week AJ. So they have something going on there with the program.
It's a really good point. How about William Byron? Been talking about him, how deep he started in the field, had a bad draw in qualifying, went out first, and now he's finally cracked the top 10 and 9th. Brandon Jones just behind him.
It's definitely taken longer for William to move up through the field than I expected it to be. You see stage 1 and stage 2 just kind of stalled out in 11. You know, he got a good, 3 wide pass there, get a couple of spots, but it just doesn't seem like he's able to move very forward throughout it. And we see the 0-0, Cole Custer is still trying to hang on out there, but losing some spots. We got some radio on him here.
Copy that, copy. You don't want to know. He says we've gone to absolute.
I don't know if I'm understanding that right, but I don't think he's very happy.
Yeah, it's gone to absolute poop. But I got out of
Somebody translate it.
Translate that for you guys. And it's so frustrating for a race car driver to have the car. Man, everything is going right. He's up front, leading a lot of laps, wins the stage, starts off the next run, and horrible, right? Like, I mean, he's gone from the best car to, barely even a top 10 car, right? He's 7th, but he's only there because he has track position. And he keeps falling backwards as Jesse Love's right behind him. And you wonder, gosh, is it just a different set of tires? I mean, surely they make big changes to the car. And for whatever reason, this has happened to me in Phoenix too before. And you're like, what happened? And then you put another set of tires on him, and boom, it comes back to life. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens, and you just got to stop the bleeding the best you can.
Austin Hill and 13th, Regan.
Well, Jamie, an uncharacteristic day right now for Austin Hill. Struggling with the same thing the entire race. He's not been able to get the front to turn on his car. They have made substantial changes, even doubling the amount of adjustment on some of these stops that they're making, not making the gains that they need right now. And the 8 car of Sammy Smith, the winner of this race 1 year ago, of course, a different team for him. The opposite problem for him, he has been extremely loose all day long, making huge left rear changes to that race car to the tune of 7 or 8 rounds in the left rear. Joey and Daniel, I know you guys can explain that pretty well. That is a large change to a car.
That's a lot of rest.
That's a big change. I mean, if you're putting that many rounds in the left rear or right rear, your base is something wrong with it, right? Because you start to unbalance the car, and it's never good aero-wise.
And Sammy Smith back in the 14th position. Well, we get a good old-fashioned Saturday afternoon Xfinity crank it up.
It's going to be the first crank it up during green flag racing all season.
On the bottom, inside. Inside again, inside 19, the falls 11.
Love riding on board John Hunter Nemechek to hear the throttle on and throttle off into the corner.
Yeah, we're getting into a long run right now. And these guys right now, they feel like they're lifting forever, but these tires, they're asking for that. So right now, you just have to be patient with your tires, trying to do not overheat the right front, do not overheat the right rear, and just trying to get into a rhythm.
Getting flagged, getting close. to maybe green flag stops. One stop remaining. We know that is for sure, but it's all Chandler Smith right now. 68 laps to go in Phoenix.
2.66 second lead, or 2.26 second lead, excuse me, for Chandler Smith over Justin Allgaier in second. Riley Herbst is 3.3 seconds back in third. Eric Almirola in fourth place, 3.6 seconds off the lead, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out the top five at 4.8 seconds back. 6.7 seconds off the race leader, Sam Mayer in sixth. Jesse Love in seventh, 8.4 seconds back. Cole Custer has now dropped to eighth place. He's 8.8 seconds off the lead, and about 0.4 of a second slower a lap than the race leader. Ninth place is Brandon Jones, quickly closing on Custer. He's 9.3 seconds back, and William Byron rounds out the top 10 at 9.7 seconds off the race lead, one position back of the furthest or highest in the running order he has been so far. Still 29 cars on the lead lap, still the 3 cautions, 1 for incident back on lap 4, and 97.5 mile per hour is the average race speed, a little under an hour and a half after the drop of the green flag today. We're 2/3 of the way home, a third of the way still to go, and still one more pit stop remaining in this race. Be sure to hit the like button on the stream if you haven't yet. 63 likes out of our goal of 100. Come on, guys. We got to get there. Got more than that watching right now. Appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in on the Saturday evening. And we'll be back again tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series race. 3 p.m. Eastern time will be the start time of our commentary stream. You won't want to miss my predictions. They've been spot on so far this year. And we'll see what they go for again for tomorrow. So it'll help you guys out Fantasy League and other ways potentially for predictions, wherever you may need them. I'll be right here for you. Be sure to subscribe as well for more NASCAR content, live commentary streams every NASCAR race weekend like this. And that is for the NASCAR Truck Xfinity Cup Series races, as well as Cup practice and qualifying on the road to 5,000 subs. Trying to get there sooner rather than later. Looks like we have just gone under caution during the commercial break with 64 laps to go. So going to be under yellow, and the final pit stops I'm sure will be coming up right now as well. So we'll listen into that when they come back from the break. Until then, we'll take a break of our own as you're listening live to the call811.com. Every dig, every time 200. I almost hit end stream instead of putting the ad in. That would have been terrible. Oh, man. I've never done that before. I hope to never do that. To accidentally end the stream.
Call 811.com. Every dig, every time 200. Easy for me to say. And we're under caution here at Phoenix for the 4th time today. Well, this makes it interesting, boys.
Yes, it does. You got one set of tires left. There is 63 laps to go. You just ran, 40-something laps? This is a very tough call for a crew chief. If it goes green from here, you're going to be sitting here saying, ugh. And here's why we see the yellow
This is Haley Deegan
out.
15. You see her up high at the wall.
Just gets high up into the marbles there.
No, that was just a kiss. She's fine.
She kissed it, kept it straight.
That was a caution?
Well, either way, that puts a really interesting scenario for everybody with this stuff. Like I was saying, if you...
There's no way.
you
That's
change
why
your
there was a
tires here,
caution.
You're out of them, you get a caution with 20 to go, you're out of tires. But if you stay out,
They threw a
possibly
caution
could
for
be
that?
taking quite the penalty there, too. So hard to say what to do. Frankie's getting out of the car.
Frankie was having a rough go at it. Multiple laps down. You could see him there.
Maybe he was having some sort of issue or something, because I don't feel like he was that slow in the beginning of the race.
Being told pits are open now.
So what do you do? Put tire or not?
I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Here they come.
Hey, leaders are all coming.
Cash out. Nobody's gambling?
Wow. I think, man, if you're outside the top 10, I would stay out.
Yeah. You have nothing to lose, right? Can you imagine in 30 laps if the caution comes out again?
All right, Josh, coming your way.
And let's start with the 20th. John Hunter Nemechek said the car was much better on that last run. He needs just a little bit more. They're going to give him 4 tires and a slight adjustment. For the 98 of Riley Herbst said he had no grip. Once again, they said if he can get better at 3 and 4, they would have a winning car. Regan?
Justin Allgaier was worried that this was going to be a long time to run at the end of the race on tires, but crew chief Jim Pullman said the book says pitting out. That's what they did. Needs just a little bit of center turn, and the 81 of Chandler Smith has been pretty good inside the car. Said all he's been doing is adjusting on his tools that he can work with in the car, and that's it.
All right, so no adjustments there. 61 laps to go. Final pit stop. No more sticker tires, Lang. Nemechek, you see it there in the 20, up 4 positions. Justin Allgaier and Herbst. Chandler Smith back 3 spots. Here's the race off right here. The 20 car team gets it done. We'll be back.
20-car team. All right, so our leaderboard is not updated quite yet, but John Hunter Nemechek did win the race off of pit road, will be the leader for the first time today. On this upcoming restart, we'll have a little less than 60 laps to go when we get back to racing. And they will definitely be racing. I can't believe they threw a caution for that. It shows that the caution was out for Hailie Deegan on our screen too. She like barely got loose, nicked the wall at the right rear corner panel, and by barely got loose, I mean like she was big time loose, probably in the car, made a good save. But at the same time, like how is her car? There was no smoke. She wasn't, sliding completely sideways in the middle of the track. Like I don't know. I can't believe they threw a caution for that. That's bad. I think that's NASCAR just being desperate for the yellow. Race control being desperate. It's like, oh, we haven't had a caution in this series since Daytona, practically. Barely had any yellows last week at Vegas. Even Atlanta, they really didn't have much. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Missed 3 birdie chances Wednesday. That's tough. Yeah, I haven't been able to get out and play. We only had one weekend where it was even nice enough, and I didn't even know of any courses potentially even being open anyway. I know Monday evening I had noticed that there was a course, the course closest to me that was open, but that was the first I had even seen it. And I mean, the weather during the week's been too cold and or rainy. I mean, it's been in the 40s and or rainy all week too. So probably back to being closed again for now. I mean, no. I mean, Deegan, there shouldn't have been a caution for that. I mean, it's kind of ludicrous. I really hope that there isn't a caution off this restart again or a wreck off this restart, because then I'm going to feel terrible that they threw the caution for that. They bunched the field up and then we get a wreck. I mean, we'll see how much that's going to turn the race on its side potentially. It did allow for Nemechek to get the lead on pit road, though. Gained a few positions, and Chandler Smith, who was leading, lost 3 spots on pit road again, and now he's in 4th. So, I mean, this has definitely altered the potential outcome of this race.
Finish.
That was a heck of a finish. And honestly, the entire race was intense. Intense, very, very crazy race. That's why the emotions were high, and I was tired, and we broke a piñata as well. It was a good time.
Closest 3-wide finish in NASCAR history. What a moment that was for you, the celebration. Joey, I know.
Incredible. I got home and my son Hudson goes, "Did you see they had a piñata after the race?" And I was like, "No, son, I did not see that." That's what he picked up on.
I love how they restock it too. They've got one ready on the truck. They've always got the watermelon in there for Ross.
No, it's awesome. We have the piñata and we have candy inside. So next time that I win, I'm gonna give you some candy.
That would be nice of you. I could have used a couple pieces. My feelings were pretty hurt at the end of that race.
It was a rough day for Logano. Let's listen to the 81 radio, Chandler Smith.
Am I screwing you guys today on pit stops or what's up? No, we're screwing ourselves. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll drive right back up there.
Well, listen, that's a very nice way to say what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I think he knew the answer to that question before he asked it.
Yeah.
Regan can update us on the 81.
Well, Jamie, just to update that, it was the left rear. They had trouble pulling the left rear, and you guys know 1/10 of a second or less can be huge here.
Yeah, he's lost the lead.
57 laps to go on the restart for John Hunter Nemechek on the outside of row 1. Allgaier inside of row 1. Gets a good push from Riley Herbst. Green flag back in the air. Allgaier way below the apron. Like the 81 into the back of the 20 at the end of the front stretch, and that almost allowed for Allgaier to pull clear, and it does. And up the middle goes Chandler Smith 3 wide between Riley Herbst and John Hunter Nemechek. More contact made. The 20 gets turned on the back straightaway. And more cars are collected in a wreck as it looked like Jeb Burton piles into Riley Herbst. Haley Deegan with heavy damage after she got into the back of the 31 of Retzlaff. And we're under yellow again. And this is what I was afraid of with the caution coming out beforehand. That something like this could have potentially happened, and it has. Hate to see it. Nemechek torn up. Herbst torn up. I mean, that's 2 cars that have been in the top 5 today that are out. Nowhere to go for some of the innocent bystanders in there. Like Jeb Burton, Sam Mayer with huge damage. He was in the top 10 all day. Chandler Smith put him 3 wide middle off turn 2. Did not work.
That escalated quickly. John Hunter Nemechek
Seems to me
with the
like
lead.
he can't believe it either. Look. No, he can't believe it.
What was that?
I don't know what was that, but he's not very
Was that
happy.
like we're driving crazy?
What are we doing? Is it John Hunter Nemechek just coming off a good restart there, winning last week?
That was his stop. That was his position right there, man. He was on the lead. He had a good restart, and he just got put in a bad spot right there.
Parker Retzlaff. Gosh, tough.
Both Jordan Anderson cars tied up in this one.
Gosh, Sam Mayer, what a bummer. Trying for his first top 10 of the season, drove his way up, and let's see where it went wrong here.
You see him, the 3 wide coming off the corner, pretty tight. You know, John Hunter definitely squeezes him down a little bit, and he just kind of run out of real estate. I mean, he already started spinning when he finished him off. It's racing.
He's racing, man. He's racing. I think it's a combination of things. Already the 81 got, himself in a very, very tight hole. The 20 didn't like that, and he pinched him down on exit. And the 81 didn't have a way to go, unfortunately, because the 98 was right on his left rear as well.
Let's get a look from our...
Yeah, I mean, it's tight. I mean, you see it, that Chandler was getting, hit from the inside, and it's kind of getting bounced around a lot there. And gosh, once he gets into, those cars on the bottom, you're sitting in the middle of the racetrack, and here comes all these cars right at you.
Look at Parker
Kligerman
just
by
watching
there.
it. Look at that
Eric
save.
Almirola getting in it. William Byron into the wall.
Yeah, that's
Parker
tough.
Retzlaff just destroyed up at the wall.
You know who did a great job? Parker Kligerman right there.
Yes, he did.
I mean, sometimes the best move is to do not move. Just wait for things to settle.
The best move is to do not move.
He's still slowing down.
But you watch his hands. He was studying the whole thing.
Because he's slowing down, so the car is moving when he's slowing down, but he did a
and
great job.
Another one.
That's experience right there.
Well done, Parker Kligerman. It's right on board with John Hunter.
Man, from that angle, it doesn't look like he was pinching him down. I mean, he wasn't his racing line.
So violent from that angle.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's tight coming off the corner there. You're 3 wide. I mean, everybody's into each other. Late race restart.
At the front of the field, though. That's
and that's
third
hard
on back.
for everybody. Think about this. You're going straight, and you're directly behind another car. You can't see where the wreck's evolving to, like where it's going to go next. It's just smoke in front of you, and all you can do is slow down, but the next guy runs in the back of you, and it just becomes a really tricky spot when everyone's that close to each other.
A lot of wrecked race cars. We're told, I believe, 11 cars with damage. William Byron there. Left front damage.
We saw him get squeezed into the fence a little bit. The 20's still running, but obviously a lot of damage there.
Big cleanup here with 54 laps to go. Under caution for this, the big one at Phoenix Raceway. 7 pit crew, they're happy. They made it through. The leaders right now.
Under red flag now for cleanup on the backstretch headed into turn 3 where that caution and accident had taken place. Really started right off the exit of turn 2, but most of the carnage took place at the end of the backstretch when things started funneling tighter and tighter. More cars were getting collected in spins, leaving others with nowhere to go. Yeah, here we are. Red flag. Now for the just the third caution for incident. Back-to-back yellows here, as this was the first lap following a restart for where there really shouldn't have even been a caution in the first place. For Hailie Deegan, lightly brushing the turn 2 wall. I don't know. If I was NASCAR, I'd be apologizing to these teams. Like, ultimately, the drivers are the ones, that are the aggressors when in the car on these restarts. So there's that. But NASCAR did put them into a tight box for having a caution when there shouldn't have been. And, this is where, at the end of the day, it is racing, not entertainment, and it could cause things like this to happen, unfortunately. I mentioned right before they went green that I was afraid that something like this could happen as a result of that caution. I was really hoping it wasn't, and it could alter the outcome of this race, and it definitely has. Cole Custer made his way through it. He's back to second. He was in, ninth place before the caution? Eighth place. Yeah, he was eighth place before the Hailie Deegan caution came out. Gained 3 spots on pit road to get to fifth. Misses the incident, which took out, 2 more cars ahead of him, and he was able to get by Chandler Smith, too, who was obviously trying to miss the incident as well. And yeah, Custer's back up to second. So the only thing that benefits me is the fact that my pick is back up in the second place. But yeah, you hate to see something like that take place when there was really no need for it. TJ DePerger, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully that said your... Is it Perger? DePerger. That probably makes more sense.
And a big cleanup. So let's go back and take a look at the replays here, exactly what happened. And watch, we talked about it, Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, you're going to see him kind of the back of your screen here as he starts a wreck.
Coming.
John Hunter's going to end up right in front of...
Right there, the 48.
The 48. There he is there.
Watch his hands.
Sometimes it's better not to do anything. Just slow down. Right there, he's slowing down as hard as he can. And he's just waiting to see where the 20 is going to go because he's already changing direction.
I think they made eye contact right there, John.
He says, like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Well, not just that. He thinks, okay, I made it through. And then there is another incident happening after that.
Here's your eye contact shot.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey,
good to see you, man. Oh, that's good. Parker is telling him, buddy, you're going the wrong direction.
Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. That's all you think of in those moments.
Kligerman, great save. He sits 7th right now, and officially we're hearing 13 cars involved.
Look at all the
big
speed he's driving. That's a beach right there.
That's a beach right there.
That's taking all the sand of the desert and put her here.
That's a lot.
Well, your emotions go from pegged to now we're dead stopped. So let's dial up the guy we were just talking about, Parker Kligerman.
Let's talk to him. Parker Kligerman, Joey Logano in the Fox booth. You got us?
Got you, buddy.
Hey, we were joking that you made eye contact with John Hunter as he was backwards. You did an incredible job avoiding that wreck. What was going through your mind when you saw all that?
I appreciate it. Glad you guys saw that. I just did what every great race car driver does, and that was close my eyes and hope for the best, and then come out the other side and take credit for it. But no, thank you to everyone who didn't run us over. I didn't have much of a choice. They kept wrecking and blocking the track, and I just had to deal with those deals where you're slowing up, watching the mirror, and trying to find that hole out of it. And finally, it opened up for our Spike Light Core Chevy that's starting to come around to be as fast as it's in the internet. So let's see if we can give this race a little bit of a run for its money and turn around some of the first half we had here.
All right, man. Well, you made it entertaining for us, and I'd like to think we do a lot more than that as race car drivers. So take some credit, would you please?
Here, okay. Just between you and I and anyone else listening out there, it was all skill.
All right, man. Have a good one.
So he finds himself in a nice position, as do these three at the front of the field. Regan.
While Jamie St. Mayer checked and released from the infield care center. We're making too much of a habit of meeting here, Sam. Looked like you almost had that cleared. What'd you see from your perspective?
I mean, I couldn't really see anything, unfortunately. That's why I was involved. I think just a bunch of people got loose up top. I was watching it a bunch in the care center. Just people not really racing smart, unfortunately, but super proud of this Tire Pros Chevrolet team. I mean, we kicked tail today. We came from the back, and we were up front getting stage points and doing our job. I'm super proud of everybody at the Fab Shop, Engine Shop at HMS. Obviously this is really unfortunate, but there's lots to be proud of here. I got to make laps, probably double the amount of laps I made this year, and I get to go have a weekend off and go to Coda and get some road racing in me.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Well said. I mean, it's been a frustrating season for him. He's like, what in the world now? Had a great car, going in the right direction, and now he finds himself with his third DNF in 4 races.
Sometimes when things are going very bad, you just have to smile, right? And I feel like that's what he's doing right now. He's just trying to just smile, laugh at it, and trying to flip the page because it's pretty bad what has been happening to him the last few weeks.
So John Hunter had restarted on the front row, and then quickly things changed. This is him trying to wheel his way through it.
Yeah, I think once he realized I am out of control, you see him moving his hands and all, trying to regain control of the car where he can, but he's trying to keep his hands off the wheel. Sometimes that wheel snaps and it moves really quick, and you can get your fingers or your wrist kind of twisted up in that. But yeah, gosh,
he just finished him off right there. I mean, I think the 20 was gonna save him. It was gonna save the car, but just the 81 was right there, and he finished him off right there. But unfortunately, very, very tough deal right there.
And it's tough too because you say Chandler kind of finished him off, and he did. But if he lifts, he's gonna get run over, and he gets wrecked. And it's just everyone's so tight on each other. If that's a few laps after a restart, there's a little bit more separation. Yeah, it might turn out a little differently. But right there, it's like, man, you're kind of just in a bad spot.
But you know what, Joey? We go back to the pit stop. I think that if Chandler Smith was having a better stop, he was going to be more calm, he was going to be more relaxed. Maybe he wasn't going to push the issue to go 3 wide in the middle right there. So we go back a couple laps before that, and I feel like that's kind of like the reaction of why that happened.
Jeb Burton in the 27, Parker Retzloff in the 31, both have been checked and released as we continue under a red flag for cleanup for this big incident. We'll be back from Phoenix Raceway to continue NASCAR Xfinity.
All right, still under caution here. 25 cars are on the lead lap. All the drivers involved in the incident on the back stretch would include Chandler Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Riley Herbst, Sam Mayer. Austin Hill got a piece of it. Jeb Burton, Haley Deegan, Parker Retzlaff. Let's see. Brennan Poole. And that looked to have been it. 9 cars in total involved in the accident, some of which kind of DNF from the race as a result of that. We had 3 drivers out of the race right before the caution took place. Frankie Muniz pulled to the garage not that long before the accident. We know, obviously, Sam Mayer will not continue. I would highly doubt Parker Retzlaff will be able to continue, maybe even Jeb Burton as well. That's why I see all those guys 3 laps down. We're under red, so they aren't more laps down quite yet. Again, this is just the 5th caution of the race today. Bleeding into the elapsed time from the start of this race so far. So it gives you guys more time to hit that like button if you guys have not done so yet. Once again, be sure to hit the like button on the stream. Our goal is 100 likes. And we're at 68 right now. Got a little bit of a ways to go. Let's get there. We got some extra time. 54 laps remain yet. Smokey in the Pot, thanks for tuning in. TRG Tornado, also welcome to the stream. Every time I shrink the line, sorry. It's my only chance to look at the chat. My phone's in use of the actual race broadcast, so I can't check the chat on my phone at the same time. We'll have to find out exactly where everybody, is going to restart. Nobody has to pit again the rest of this race. They're all on their final set of tires. And on top of the fact, we didn't even get a full green flag lap in before that caution ended up coming out. So they haven't really burned much of their tires anyway. Quite yet. It came right about the midway point of the final stage, really.
As the USFL and XFL come together to unleash the United Football League. Opening weekend kicks off March 30th on Fox with the USFL champion Birmingham Stallions.
Back to caution
taking
now.
on the XFL champion Arlington Renegades. The USL this spring on ABC, ESPN, FS1, and Fox. And The Rock has a big part in this. Awesome to talk to The Rock in Daytona about the UFL and what's about to come on March 30th. That'll be fun.
Sounds pretty. He's a big man.
Yes,
I've never seen him in person till Daytona. That's a big boy.
A little spring football action. And look at this. Engines are refired. Yellow has been displayed. Let's take a look back at the restart here. So Chandler Smith had that little slow an issue on pit road, and you see him here in the 81.
Yeah, he has a good restart here on the top. Kind of seen an opening there, got closed up by Riley Herbst. Really tries to dive it in there again. Finally gets in there. I mean, it's a tight squeeze, but he's there. And it just runs out of space. And, you know, you can't blame him for making the move and sticking it in there. He's got a really fast car to fire off. He knows if he gets in the lead, he can win the race. It's worth making the big move. It's just, it's tough. And that's his teammate, too. So it's going to be a really weird Monday.
Yeah, but man, I don't think he did anything wrong. He was just being aggressive, but I don't think he was being, you know, overly aggressive. He just, things got tighter than what he was expecting.
You know, here we just see the carnage from that, and unfortunately it ties up so many other really good cars because it happens in the front, so a lot of fast cars got wiped out.
John Hunter Nemechek was checked and released from the infield care center. Frustrating. What a day he had. It restarted. His team got him out there to P1, so he restarted first on that restart, and then boom, things changed quickly. Chandler Smith's car is good to go. Justin Allgaier is the leader. So you heard Sam Mayer mention that we're off next weekend with the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and then we're going to COTA, Circuit of the Americas. We're going to go road course racing. You guys like this place? Austin.
Oh, it's an amazing place.
It is a lot of fun. Really cool place, and a lot of very, very intense racing. There's some new patches on the racetrack we've heard about, so could change the racing a little bit up from that standpoint as well.
Let's unveil the booth for that weekend. Of course, Adam Alexander will be back. Thinking of Adam and his family, by the way.
Oh, we're back together.
Oh, we're back together, amigo.
Did you know that?
Look at you, too.
I knew I was going to be there. I didn't know you were
I was going to be there, too.
Joey, you're just part of our team. You're in here every single week.
I love being here. I have fun doing this stuff. What else am I going to do on a Saturday afternoon? Watch an Xfinity race with my amigo. I mean, who's better?
Amiga. I like that. Well, it's good to have you. You do a great job.
Well, thanks for having me.
And my leg is shaking. Just cannot wait to get going.
My wife always goes, "Can you just sit still for a second?" I'm like, I can't. I can't do it.
Joey, what's the call you just got from your wife at home?
Oh, she just told me my son pulled his own tooth out, which was awesome, but then he looked at it and passed out. But it's okay. But yeah, that's what happens during red flags, apparently, and we're all the way out here in Phoenix. So
never a dull moment at home with 3 little ones.
Never. If you only knew.
Every time when I was younger that I was gonna go do some kind of work with blood, I had to go into a hospital with a Coca-Cola for real to get some sugar because if not I was passing out. Every single time.
Sounds like a good excuse to get some sugar.
Hey, so it's it's March 9th. Let's get a little history lesson. Famous things that happen on this date in history. Oh, look at that young Kyle Busch. The first win for the first Mustang.
It's a big day.
Barbie introduced by Mattel, 1959. What a comeback she's made. I mean, not that she went anywhere, but that movie it's just shown a whole new generation of little kids what she was all about. And also, I like this one, Notorious B.I.G., probably arguably one of the greatest rappers of all time, died on this day in 1997. Still listen to it. You like rap?
I do. I'm not super fan of it, but I do like rap. Yeah.
Joey, you don't strike me as the rap type. Do you like Notorious B.I.G.?
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Rap, not quite today's rap.
So you like
and country music more so than anything
Country
at the moment.
music?
I love
Rap?
country music. Well, yeah, hey, I'm a well-rounded individual. What about Pitbull? You ever listen to Pitbull? You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, I think I know who is that guy.
I listen to him. I like that.
You got to go on stage with him in Nashville, right?
That was quite an experience. There is nobody else that he can crank up an stadium like he does. That guy is unbelievable.
His energy. He's so small and has the most energy of any human.
Well, Justin Allgaier is taking the bottom, and we see the leader kind of go back and forth different ways on this, but Justin definitely likes the bottom. I like it too. If I'm the leader this late in the run, you're in control of the car on the outside of you at this point.
The bottom has been the better fire-off lane for the majority of this Xfinity Series race thus far. We'll see what Allgaier can do with it as he leads them back to racing again. 49 laps to go at Phoenix. Looks like a little bit of a tire rub potentially on the 48 of Parker Kligerman as we're back to racing here. Looks like there maybe is some smoke coming out from the back of that race car. Didn't think he got much of the damage. Oh, yeah, he definitely has a fender flare. That left rear corner panel is definitely flared out quite a bit. Cole Custer, who got the second initially when the caution flag ended up taking place, is now falling to fourth on the restart. Near contact with Brandon Jones in the 21 of Austin Hill now, allowed for a three-wide pass on the bottom to be made by Sammy Smith, who was outside the top 20 for most of the day, missed the big wreck. Gets a few more spots in the restart, and now is inside the top 10.
Crazy. You see Cole Custer back in the hunt here, though. See if he's got his car woken back up to be able to move his way back into contention to win this thing.
So violent, dropping down on that dog leg. See if he can make it work here, trying to take over the third spot, and he does.
Not so fast. The crossover by Sheldon Creed.
Look at Jesse Love just waiting for his turn back there, running fit. How about the rookie in his fourth career race in the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, right here, Cole Custer, he's where he wants to be. He wants to be on the outside, and I think that right here he's going to be able to chase it down, and then be able to be in the best spot for corner 1 and 2.
Yeah, if he can kind of pin him on the exit and try to get a good run off. It looks like Creed's going to get a good run with him, though. Definitely gave him some space down there on the bottom.
The 18 car is pretty good. It's pretty good. Or maybe the 0-0 is not as good as we thought it was going to be.
You can see on the left side of your screen, this is what we talked about. Chandler Smith firing off fast. He's starting to reel in the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Justin's going to have his work cut out as they're 3 wide back there now.
3 wide for the third spot. And just behind them, Ryan Sieg following up that great run, that top 10 run for him at Las Vegas. He had a speeding penalty, by the way, on lap 95. Sieg did. Look at him now. In the 6th spot.
See Jesse Love down there, very impressive rookie for what he's done so far earlier in the season. And you see right now, doing a good job, keeping his nose clean, kept his car clean all day. 44 to go, he's got a clean car, and he's in the top 5.
And what about my amigo Shane Van Gisbergen? He's very, very close to get a top 10. He's right there running 11.
Look at battle for the lead right here. Chandler Smith trying to take it from Justin Allgaier.
And this will not be an easy pass for Chandler Smith at all. Justin Allgaier, he knows how to make his car wide. He knows how to make it difficult for someone to pass him. It's all about constantly applying the pressure to Justin. Any moment you can. Oh, wow.
Oh, he gave him a break right there because, oh my God, the 81, he has options.
28 off the pace. Kyle Sieg, the younger brother of Ryan Sieg, we were just talking about issues here, but it looks like he might be able to get it down to pit road, and he does. We stay green.
The run that Chandler Smith got off of turn 2 right here, the last lap, was absolutely incredible. He looked for Justin to try to do something different because that was not pretty for him.
The 81 just has so many different options. It doesn't matter if he's in the middle, in the top, in the very apron. He's just quick.
42 laps to go. Remember, they got to make these tires last to the very end. This is their last set of tires. This is all they got. So don't burn them up too early.
If the 7 car can hold the 81 for 10 laps or so, I think that he's going to be okay. But right now, as we know, Joey, the 81 is on his zone right now in the short run.
He is, but you can see him come off of turn 2 there, leaving black marks off the corner. He's trying really hard. He's using all he's got. You see back here to Jesse Love and concussion. They're still battling it out.
There's your boy, Shane Van Gisbergen back there. He can't shake these two. He's been battling with them for at least half the race.
No, he's doing a good job. Just steady, learning, getting a little bit better, running all the laps, because that's his goal right now. Running every single lap to be able to continue to build a notebook and continue to be better.
And that's a battle for 11. Shane Van Gisbergen in 12th. Anthony Alfredo just ahead of him.
These guys have been going back and forth. These two, this has been a fun race to watch. These two crossing each other up, back and forth, slide jobbing each other. It's been pretty entertaining to watch these two, their racecraft, really just kind of going back and forth as they have pretty equal cars.
Let me tell you something. The 0-0 car was such a good car in stage number 2. It's crazy how things changed for stage number 3. Right now, it seems to me that he just doesn't have the speed that he had before.
Quite a bit of damage on the front of Brandon Jones' race car. Surprised that he's still hanging on into the top 10. And how about Anthony Alfredo, the 5-car, challenging for that 10th place position alongside with Shane Van Gisbergen. 3 cars, 10th through 12th on the screen right now. 38 laps to go and about a 4/10 of a second lead for Justin Allgaier over Chandler Smith. Allgaier was not the favorite to win this race by virtue of the pole that we had up until the end of stage 2, and he wasn't my pick to win either. So definitely somebody I had probably slated into the top 3 or 4, but nonetheless a pretty good performance for Justin. Looked like he maybe towards the end of stage 2 had the fastest long run car, and now having to make a long run to the finish with this being the final set of tires, and these teams having to go roughly 60 laps on this set of tires to the very end. Not sure if we've seen the final caution or not yet today, and he's slowly expanding that lead out over Chandler Smith, who might have used his stuff up a little earlier in the run. Either that or he is saving a bit more for later in the run. Justin Allgaier, that last time by, about 0.3 of a second faster than the next closest fastest car on track, which is Chandler Smith in second. So great lap just put down there by Allgaier. Continues to extend the lead, and now it's a little over a second with just 35 laps to go. Looks like a commercial break on FS1 right now. We'll go through the full field running order one more time in the race today, with that being the case. Again, Allgaier, your race leader. 1 second off the lead is Chandler Smith in second. Sheldon Crate third. Jesse Love fourth, and Cole Custer rounds out the top 5. Ryan Sieg in 6th. Austin Hill 7th. Sammy Smith 8th. Parker Kligerman 9th. And Brandon Jones is 10th. 11th place for Anthony Alfredo. Shane Van Gisbergen 12th. Jeremy Clements 13th. Kyle Weatherman 14th. Leland Honeyman 15th. Nick Light 16th. Blaine Perkins 17th. J.J. Ailey 18th. B.J. McLeod 19th. Ryan Ellis 20th. 21st for A.J. Allmendinger. He's having some engine problems today. Still on the lead lap. Brendan Poole is 22nd. William Byron, last car in the lead lap, at 23rd. 24th place is Corey Heim, as he is the first car lap down. He's actually still 2 laps down. Riley Herbst is still in the race after his incident, but is 3 laps down in, 25th place. Kyle Sieg is 26th. Garrett Smithley 27th. Josh Williams 28th. Dawson Cram 29th. Eric Almirola in 30th. Frankie Muniz 31st. And then everybody 32nd on back DNF today. So John Hunter Nemechek will finish 32nd after winning a week ago at Vegas. Haley Deegan 33rd. Sam Mayer 34th. Parker Retzlaff 35th. Jeb Burton 36th. Ryan Vargas 36th and 37th for Patrick Emerly. Still a little under 2 hours since the drop of the green flag today, not equating to that red flag we saw in the lap 143 incident on the backstretch. That red flag lasted 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Average race speed, 91.73 miles per hour, and again, only 5 cautions so far, and only 3 for incident. 32 laps still to go at Phoenix. You're listening live on KRC. Billy Carjoy official, Jeff Curry. JoJo, thanks for tuning in. No, Frankie Muniz was not in that crash. He had a different issue at some point in time in the final stage, which is why he's about 17 or 18 laps down. Was actually off track, came back in, was able to pass a few more in the running order, obviously, that were taken out of that incident in the middle of this final stage. Nose-to-tail battle for third place going on between Sheldon Creed and the new driver of the number 2 car, Jesse Love. I have to say, Jesse Love, I know it's very early in his Xfinity career, but he's shining bright. Couple of poles, dominated Atlanta. Unfortunately, ran out of gas on the final restart in overtime of that race. But he is definitely performing very well, and here he is with a top 5 run, where his teammate Austin Hill, who has won 2 races this season, definitely a championship contender, I'd say, is Austin Hill for the second consecutive year, and he's in 6th. He's been outrunning him this whole race. Good job for Jesse. We'll see if Shane Van Gisbergen can get into the top 10. This could be his 3rd top 12 finish in his first 4 career Xfinity starts, as he runs in 11th as we run right now. Still side by side, meanwhile, for 3rd between Love and Creed, and a nearly 2-second lead all of a sudden built up now between Justin Allgaier and Chandler Smith at the very front of the field. 27 laps remain. Failed pass attempt there by the 2 as he had to lift quite a bit in the middle of 3 and 4. Tight on that bottom lane was being held by Creed. And these 2 are about 6 seconds off of the race lead. Just kind of closely watching and monitoring the lap times, and Allgaier still the fastest car on the racetrack by a tenth or so, consistently over Chandler Smith. Waiting to see if that swings at all. See how much lap traffic will play into effect here before the end, because it looks like Allgaier's getting close to the drivers at the tail end of the lead lap. I'm not sure if William Byron got caught up in that incident or not, because he was running about 10th place. And ever since then, he's been the last car in the lead lap, getting outran by drivers like BJ McLeod, Ryan Ellis, Brendan Poole. So maybe it's an engine issue. I mean, we saw another Chevy having an engine issue like AJ Allmendinger earlier. That's why he's 18th. But yeah, not sure exactly what's going on there with Byron. And now he is about to go a lap down. 25 laps to go. And it'll be the first car lap down, at least until more cars on the lead lap get lapped here in the late going. Susan Greenland, thanks for tuning in as well. She's pulling for Justin Allgaier. Be sure to hit that like button on the stream as well if you guys have not done so yet. 77 likes is what we're at right now. We're still about 23 away from our goal, so be sure to hit that like button. We got 23 likes to get to our goal, 24 laps to get there. Going on 23 now this time by. Have that brief post-race show like we usually do for the truck and Xfinity races. Get to listen to an interview from some of the top finishers in this race. We have a little bit longer post-race show in the Cup Series races where we break down how the predictions went, the Fantasy League, and much more, on top of obviously post-race interviews, finishing order, other race stats, and we kind of break down the race a little bit more than what we do with the truck and Xfinity post-races, but we will still be live for a few minutes after the finish of this race. Jesse Love is still fighting back after Sheldon Creed for 3rd place. He's not going down without a fight. Falls behind. He definitely seems quicker. Just can't quite complete the pass on these old tires towards the end of this run. And they're definitely using their stuff up battling for this position. I wonder if Cole Custer might have a chance of running them down here before the end as well. Now, last lap, Chandler Smith about 0.03 of a second quicker than Allgaier. That was about it. Allgaier working through some pretty heavy lap traffic right now. At least the last lap or two. Smith going to have to deal with that same lap traffic at some point. Close to a win a week ago after winning the first 2 stages was Chandler Smith. Was leading early in this final stage. When he's had the track position, he's been fast, but that picker's put him in some tough positions here. Back at traffic multiple occasions. And once he fell behind the 7, just wasn't able to overcome that. He was fast on the short runs as he saw him contending for the lead for about the first 10-15 laps after this restart. And then after that, just can't quite keep up with the faster cars in front of him. Still looking for a solid run. 3 stage wins already this year for Chandler Smith in these first 4 races of the season. Had a solid run at Daytona in the season opener as well. Led some laps that day. Battle for 16th on screen. Nick Lights, Blaine Perkins. Shout out to Ryan Sieg in the 7th place position, having a really solid run in that 39 car. You have an incident like we saw in the middle of this final stage, taking out a lot of the heavier hitters that would on a normal basis consistently be running in the top 10. Got to take advantage of it, and Sieg has done just that. Same really for Shane Van Gisbergen and Anthony Alfredo, knocking on the doorstep of a potential top 10 as well. With 18 laps to go, Allgaier still consistently the fastest car on the racetrack. His hope right now is just hoping it stays green to the very end and won't have to worry about another late race restart. Allgaier, already a former winner at Phoenix in the spring event, has not won a fall race since it's become the Championship 4 race, but maybe looking to build on that, and maybe this could be the year Allgaier finally wins an Xfinity Series championship. You never know. Heard Dodger Stadium could be holding a race. It could be. It's rumored. I think it'd be unique. You know, if you're looking to keep an exhibition race in the LA market, you know, if the Coliseum may have ran its course in NASCAR's eyes, still keep it in LA at another, you know, stadium that is historic. Why not Dodger Stadium? Maybe slightly bigger track there on a baseball field. The dimensions are a little bit bigger, at least between like wall to wall. And it's one of the bigger ballparks too in the MLB, so that might, you know, help a little bit with the track size. Slightly bigger than what the Coliseum is. Roughly third mile racetrack. It won't be that much bigger. I mean, it's still going to be less than a half mile, but slightly bigger. Xfinity Series rookies. Leland Honeyman, I didn't realize, also in the top 15 right now. 15th place for him. Down to 18 cars on the lead lap. Allmendinger, the first driver, 1 lap down. Allgaier continuing to rip through these lap cars. 0.2 quicker again than Chandler Smith that last lap. He's just looking to see that white flag lap. Once that happens, he'll probably feel he's in a good spot. Looking for some other potential battles inside the top 10. It looks like Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith battling for 7th. They're both within the same 1/10 of a second of each other. So they're definitely the closest cars of any in the top 10 battling for any sort of spot late. Brandon Jones also slightly closing in on Parker Kligerman. His lap times have been quicker, and he's within a second of him. And, of course, the battle for third between Sheldon Creed and Jesse Love, which has been nonstop for about the last 20 or so laps, if not more. Could be a good race for that third place position to the very end as well. Second place run for Sheldon Creed in the first race of the season, so this could be 2 top 3 finishes in these first 4 races, getting through this mini West Coast swing. And second place run came at Daytona in the season opener. race ended under yellow, was very, very close to winning that race over Austin Hill when the caution came out. Very similar to the tight finish that ended up taking place in the Daytona 500 earlier on that Monday night. Sammy Smith has worked his way around Ryan Sieg. Sieg trying to fight back still. The lap times haven't been there compared to the 8 the last several laps, though. And as they battle, it allows for Parker Kligerman and maybe Brandon Jones to try to sneak up and steal a couple more spots before the finish. Jesse Love down to the apron, trying to gain some ground through turns 1 and 2 on Sheldon Creed. Creed with a better run off the exit of the corner as he gets by the lap car in the 43. That would be Ryan Ellis. Creed holding on, 10 to go. Kligerman under duress from Brandon Jones. And Shane Van Gisbergen right there as well. A 3-car battle going on for 9th. They really closed up on Kligerman. I almost wonder if Kligerman tried to make a pass on Sieg off camera there a lap or so ago because he was closing in on him for 8th when Sieg was battling Smith. And now all of a sudden there's a bit of a gap between 8th and 9th. And 2 more cars have pulled up closer to Kligerman. Love again to the inside of Sheldon Creed. Continues to try to make that pass on the inside. If you can get to the outside of another car, that's definitely going to be your best opportunity to complete a pass. A little tight, though, off turn 2 for Sheldon Creed. May have had to lift. Love's got positioning on him. Front bumper out ahead of him on the inside lane through 3 and 4. Run off the exit of the corner. Going to be coming up. Love going to dive to the apron. Creed to the apron, but not as low, of course, being still to the outside of the 2. Both drive it off deep into turns 3 and 4. Down on the yellow line, and below it is the 2 of Love, and again, just cannot stay side by side. That was the closest attempt he's had to making a pass for 3rd in the last 25-plus laps, but again, just could not do it. He was side by side for about a full lap. Lap car is going to get in the way of Creed. Creed gets the bumper from Love. Love's been faster this entire time, and he definitely feels that he is getting held up. So that time he got to the left rear corner panel, he put the bumper to Sheldon Creed. And he still couldn't pass him. He got him up out of the way. Couldn't clear him, though, once he got to the inside. And again, Sheldon Creed's clear off turn 2. And the lapper may have gotten in the way of the 2 of Love off the exit of the corner. Couldn't let the car feed up all the way to the wall. That was the 14 of Yaley that was there. Love better in turns 3 and 4, definitely, than Creed. It's where he's gaining the most ground. 1 and 2, he's slipping a little bit too much on the bottom to be able to complete the pass on that end when he gets side by side through 3 and 4. And that's where the bump took place a lap ago as well, was on the turns 3 and 4 side of things. 5 laps to go for Justin Allgaier. Had all 4 tires nearly down to the apron through 3 and 4 that last time by. Oh, he's got a tire going down the leaders in the wall. Oh no, Justin Allgaier has crashed from the lead with 5 laps to go. Oh my goodness. What happened there? I don't know if he had a tire going down or something. He was on the apron through 3 and 4, which looked like a unique line, but then he just sailed it off into 1 and 2 and pounds it into the wall. Heavy damage. Oh my goodness.
What a heartbreaking.
I mean, he had a 3-second lead.
Destroying the field. Gotta beat. Now he's sitting here stuck.
Wow, what a heartbreaker. Justin Allgaier, I just said he was checking out. Not a worry in sight.
He was in cruise control. At this point, he was in cruise control. He was only waiting for the white flag to bring it home.
4 laps to go, guys.
52 laps.
It's going to be a green white checker.
Led today. All right.
Here's a replay. You see Justin go through the dog leg here. Everything looks fine, and right there, you see that smoke? Yep. That's it. Comes right apart. Gone.
The longest run of the day.
Oh. Gosh, my heart's broken for him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's how you just sit there in disbelief. It's just like, how can that happen?
That's it. It's already flat right there.
Yeah. as soon as he hits the brakes.
Shades of Larson in the Cup race at Pocono a couple of years ago.
Nothing he could have done, brother.
See it in real time. I bet Sheldon Creed was just in shock seeing that happen to the leader right ahead of you.
Hey, by the way, how many wins Sheldon Creed has? None. And guess what? He's gonna be in the front row. That guy is all or nothing.
8 runner-up finishes for Sheldon Creed.
Yeah.
Today may be the day. Frustration.
Frustration right there.
Oh, gosh.
And 100% understandable. I mean, anyone in that position would be exactly the same.
He did everything right.
He did everything right.
Yeah.
Good job managing the race.
I mean,
staying up front, making his long runs good, and these fans can't believe it either. Look at him. Their team is
his family. I mean,
winning to
everyone
DNF,
here.
just like that. This sport, sometimes sometimes I get done. I go, this sport sucks. Just like, man, you do everything right, and then something like that happens, and it gets you. It's hard. This is such a hard sport. It's a sport that you lose way more than you win. Right? I mean, a tremendous season's winning more than 5 races. That means you lost 30, give or take, right? It's so tough to mentally get through this sport, and for Justin Allgaier right now, so hard to understand how that can be possible.
And on the other side, sometimes you get a gift handed to you, right? You get yourself in the right position that you can pick it up, and maybe it's Chandler Smith's day, maybe Creed, maybe Jesse Love. I mean, between the top 3, there's only one win between them.
And this, I tell you what, now we talked about Justin and the bad luck he's got. You said right, they got good luck, but they are restarting on some very old tires. There's no tires left. You're not coming down pit road anymore. And they are going to be spinning their tires on the start. They're going to be sliding into the corner. You got, like you said, Daniel, you got some guys looking for their first win. There's going to be contact. If Chandler Smith can't clear into turn 1, you can
it's gonna be fun.
bet on some serious stuff happening.
It's gonna be fun. For us, it's gonna be fun.
Usually when we go NASCAR overtime, things are going to get fun. I mean, that's heartbreaking. This will set us up for a heck of a finish, no doubt. So a little race recap from the start. Josh Williams spins early. Damage for him. Dawson Cram. Chandler Smith dominated. Led every lap of stage number 1. Gets the win. Then Cole Custer. He dominates stage 2. Gets the win. And stage 3, right here, the big one at Phoenix. 13 cars involved. Big time cleanup. A lot of good cars out of this race. The 7 does what he needs to do on pit road, gets the lead. Cruise control, like you said, Daniel, and then this heartbreak out of nowhere, loses the left rear. So the pits are open. We're told that the 8 of Sammy Smith came down.
I mean, I want to think that all they have left is a set of scuff tires.
Yeah, scuffs with less laps on them, so cold scuffs with less laps.
Anthony Alfredo in as well. Let's see what they have.
Yeah, the scuff sets.
this never usually works, I will say.
Which means a little better, and I guess if you're in the back of the lead lap, maybe you throw them on and it'd be a little better than what's around you, but for green-white checkers, not much time.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to really
What he's hoping is to have another caution, right? To have a little bit more time to maybe crack the top 5.
Which is a good chance of that.
Yeah, the way we've been doing, yeah.
So we've got 2 Toyotas up front right now. We've talked about the success, the dominance.
Put it in the chat already, but be sure to hit the like button if you guys haven't yet. Going into overtime here, try to get to our goal of 100 likes on the stream. We're at 89 right now, well more than that many people obviously watching. So be sure to hit the like button, helps the streams out a ton. We'll take you to the finish of this NASCAR Xfinity race at Phoenix.
Jamie, to be part of some of those numbers because we had some great race cars when I was in the Xfinity series in 2015 and 16 with Jockey Racing.
Well, Sheldon Creed has been waiting, knocking on that door, has come close so many times to getting his first career win. You see it there, most runner-up finishes without a win. Sheldon at 8.
I'd say he's due with that many second-place finishes, and he's going to have a great opportunity here. As he's second place, he's going to be on the front row. He's going to take the front row, I'm sure.
What a story it would be if he comes from the rear to win this thing.
Now, where it's going to get a little interesting, the 81 and the 18, they are teammates.
I mean, the way the 81 achieved that 20, I think it's a free game.
I don't think they care at this point. And then you got Jesse Love, who's looking for his first win. Cole Custer, who we know was strong early in the race, kind of fell off there. But, hey, when you're a green-white checker in your first 2 rows, you got a chance.
I think like you said, Joey, I think everything is going to be dictated by the launch that they have in the restart zone heading into corner 1. If they're side by side by exit of corner 2, I think the race is going to be very interesting.
Absolutely. There's the trophy. They're going for the chrome shovel. Gotta get that chrome shovel. And they're going through the chews here.
So what will you take, bottom or top?
Man, this late, I'm liking the bottom because I think everything's going to slide up, such as these old tires.
Look at this right here, the top 5. It's gone now, but not a ton of wins, especially the top 3. Just 1 win between them.
I'm thinking a lot of stuff's going to slide up at turn 1, and
yes,
I want to be able to wrap the bottom. Especially with these old tires. I mean, this restart is bound to be a complete disaster. It's going to be interesting to see this one play out.
And that's why you see all the drivers swerving, trying to warm up their tires.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up for the ride as we are headed to overtime. Our first attempt, at least, at a green-white checker finish. Race leader gets to the white flag. The next flag ends the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. Seen a photo finish on overtime restart. Phoenix before. Think back to the championship race in 2021. Daniel Hemrick getting his only career win there. We got a few drivers looking for their first career win still that are in the top 3 positions for the restart. On the inside of row 1, it's going to be Chandler Smith. On the outside, it's Sheldon Creed. Green flag back in the air. Spot in the playoffs on the line. Cole Custer going to take a dive to the apron. Gets a little bit of a push from behind from Austin Hill. Great launch by the cars on the inside row. Chandler Smith is going to be easily clear into the middle of turns 1 and 2. Side by side, now 3 wide for third place on back. Great move by Jesse Love to pull clear of both Hill and Custer. White flag will be in the air this time. 1 lap to go for Chandler Smith. Creed gained a little bit of a ground on him in the center of the corner. Down to the apron again goes the 2 of Love. He'll pull to the inside of the 18 of Creed. Still side by side for second place through turns 3 and 4. Creed trying to win the race back to the gas as they continue to battle. It's allowing the 81 of Chandler Smith to pull away. Led the most laps a week ago, won the first 2 stages, didn't get the win. This week gets another stage win and will get the win. Chandler Smith going to go to victory lane at Phoenix. Second place goes to Jesse Love by inches over Sheldon Creed. Austin Hill 4th, and Cole Custer rounds out the top 5. Shane Van Gisbergen, 6th place finish there at the end, gaining a few positions. Another solid day for SVG. Brandon Jones, 7th. Parker Kligerman, 8th. Sammy Smith, 9th. And Anthony Alfredo with a top 10 finish. 11th for Leland Honeyman. Ryan Sieg, 12th. Blaine Perkins, 13th. BJ McLeod, 14th. Jeremy Clements, 15th. Here's Justin Allgaier with Regan Smith.
Anywhere on the racetrack.
No, I mean, unfortunately, the wears today have been so good, and the 17 called an absolutely perfect race. I mean, Jim Pullman did an amazing job, and to have as fast a brand professional Ultra Camaro as we did all day, I mean, it's definitely as fast as it's been in internet. We just aren't doing the burnout in victory lane like what at Chandler is. So hats off to Chandler. They were really fast all day, just going through the dog leg. I felt it come apart, like I ran something over and it come apart, and then at that point you're just passing. I just hated we tore up a race car. I hated that, we didn't get to go to victory lane. I hate it for all the guys and gals of Junior Motorsports. I mean, everybody at Chevrolet has been working their guts off to try and be at this point, and the Hendrick Engine Shop just stinks when it finishes like that.
Okay, Justin, thanks.
Thanks, Regan. Justin Allgaier credited with the 29th place finish. There's the victory burnout for 21-year-old Chandler Smith. Parks it on the start-finish line. Chandler led the most laps today, 88. He dominated in that first stage. Was able to come back after all the carnage and hang on to it.
He's having a hard time getting the winner on that down.
A lot of stuff for you
There
guys
he
to
goes.
unbuckle. Gets it out. The fans are ready. Second career win for that young man, Chandler Smith. Now run up and get that flag. I think he likes what he's seeing. The car looks good. Right rear held up.
He did a great job.
Josh Sims is with the happy winner.
Chandler Smith, the winner at Phoenix in the ARC Menard Series, a winner in the Truck Series at Phoenix, and now the Xfinity Series. Talk to me about that final restart and the key to getting this win today.
Yeah, first off, all glory to God. Without him, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't have a beautiful wife at home with these amazing kids that he's blessed us with. They're my everything. They're my whole world. So I can't wait to get back home to you, honey. Kids, I can't wait to see you tonight. But what a day. Went from dominating to wasn't great to we were dominating again to wasn't great again. Just lacked a little bit on the 7. I hate that happened to him. He definitely had that in the bag, so I hate it for him, his guys and all. But our car was definitely as fast as Xfinity 10G today, and I'm so proud of everybody back at Joe Gibbs Racing. It's good finally to get this first one off my back with these guys, so let's go keep racking them up.
Second career win for Chandler Smith.
Chandler Smith returns.
0.3 of a second margin of victory. Went 5 laps past the scheduled distance, so 205 lap, 205 mile race. Original scheduled again 200. 2 hours, 12 minutes, 56 seconds total time in the race today. And we had a red flag period at lap 143 for the time of 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Average race speed 92.2 miles per hour on this one. And we'll go through the full field finishing order right now. Chandler Smith with the race win again. Congratulations to him. Won the first stage of the race today. Ended up going on to actually lead the most laps in the race. 88 laps led for Chandler. As you saw late there, unfortunately, Justin Allgaier crashed from the lead. Had a left rear tire going down to the very finish. And the only time he led was in that final stage. Led for 52 laps. 62 laps led for Cole Custer. He led 3 different times from the pole, and he ended up finishing in 5th, so top 5 run for him. Only 4 different drivers led 1 lap in the race today. John Hunter Nemechek led mostly under caution, and then into that one restart where he got an incident at the hands of Chandler Smith. Oddly enough, might have pinched him down a little bit too. Definitely didn't help things 3 wide on a final stage restart. After a Haley Deegan caution that should not have come out, which definitely altered the race at that point in time. But ultimately, the guy who may have gotten altered from it the most leading into the crash was Chandler Smith, who lost time on pit road where it probably wouldn't have happened at least that much under green if they ended up having to make a green flag stop. Ends up coming back to win anyway, so it ended up not really biting him very much. But anyway, outside of the top 5, I mentioned already that Shane Van Gisbergen finished in 6th. Brandon Jones 7th, Parker Kligerman 8th, Sammy Smith 9th, and Anthony Alfredo rounded out the top 10. Leland Honeyman in 11th, Ryan Sieg 12th, 13th place for Blaine Perkins, 14th for BJ McLeod. That's a solid finish for that BJ McLeod Motorsports Chevrolet. 15th place finish for Jeremy Clements, Kyle Weatherman 16th, Nick Lights in 17th was the last car to finish on the lead lap. AJ Allmendinger with an 18th place run, J.G. Ailey 19th, Brennan Poole 20th. 21st place finish for Ryan Ellis, Corey Heim 22nd, William Byron 23rd, Riley Herbst 24th. Kyle Sieg 25th, Garrett Smithley 26th, Josh Williams 27th, 28th for Dawson Cram. Unfortunately, Justin Allgaier there, 29th place finish, definitely did not deserve that. Frankie Muniz ends up finishing 30th, Eric Almirola DNF'd in this one, 31st place run. John Hunter Nemechek a 32nd place finish with a DNF. Haley Deegan 33rd, Sam Mayer 34th, 35th for Parker Retzlaff, Jeb Burton 36th, 37th for Ryan Vargas, and Patrick Emily rounds out the 38 car field here today. With those 4 different leaders, it looked like we had a total of 8 lead changes in the race as well. That is going to finish out the Call811.com every dig, every time 200 at Phoenix. Again, congratulations to Chandler Smith for getting the race win. Sitting at 95 likes on the stream. I want to really stay live here for the next couple of minutes until we get to that goal. We had a lot of people watching there towards the end. Hopefully, those of you that are still around that have not hit the like button, definitely hit that like button so we can get to our goal of 100 here. If not, like during the stream, within a couple minutes after the fact. So, again, that was our pre-race, pre-stream goal for these NASCAR Xfinity Series races. So definitely be sure to hit the like button. As far as tomorrow's scheduling, 4 p.m. or sorry, not 4, 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow will be our live commentary coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series race at Phoenix, the Shriners Children's 500. We'll have pre-race predictions going on then, some late fantasy advice for you, and much more with those predictions. We'll take a look, obviously, at a post-race following the conclusion of the race, how those predictions shape up, and then, of course, post-race interviews and anything else that we get along the way after the checkered flag falls tomorrow evening. Congrats to Chandler Smith, nonetheless, here today, getting the win, his second of his Xfinity career, and he is the second driver of potentially 12 to be locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're 2 likes away. We need to get to 100 here. I really don't want to end the stream quite this second. We need to get to 2 more likes. Or actually, no, we're at 99. Yeah, 99 likes. We are 1 away. 1 like to get to 100, and then we'll end this stream out. But I went through everything that already happened. Broke this thing down. Appreciate everybody tuning in here on the Saturday night. There it is, 100. Up to 100. Thank you. We have hit our goal. Definitely came down to the end of the stream, but we got there. Appreciate all the support you guys give me every single NASCAR race weekend. We got 1 more stream yet this weekend. See you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for the NASCAR Cup race at Phoenix. Everybody have a good rest of your Saturday night.